What's going on, everybody? And welcome to another episode of the All About Counter-Strike podcast. It's episode 59. It is the 3rd of May, 2026. And right now it is 11:32 in the evening for me, not the morning. It's nearly the morning of the next day. But for Devilwalk, it's the morning. It's actually the 4th of May for Devilwalk.
Yes.
And it is 32 minutes past the midnight. So you're up at the crack of this all starting out, because we've obviously had Vitality dominate once again when it comes to everything Counter-Strike, when it comes to just how phenomenal they can play Counter-Strike as a unit. So it will be another episode of glazing these guys once again. We got a lot to go through in this episode. There's a lot of news. There's a job change. There's the Blast Rivals review. Then after the news, we've got 2 previews to do, because there's Atlanta, which is like the smaller event right now, and then Astana, where more of the big teams are going, but they've also got their own storylines and opportunities in there. So a lot to go through. But first of all, DW, what have you been going through on this week? How has your week been?
Week has been good.
He's lying. He's just straight lying.
I mean, it's been pretty good, honestly. I mean, oh no, it's actually been trash. But
see, there we go. Thank you. Be honest.
For like job wise and everything, it's been good. But I've been doing some, fucking tax shit, and it's just stressing me out, and I'm not good with it.
Yeah. No one's good with tax. No one actually says like I'm good with tax. Like, it's a thing we must go through and do.
It's such a special thing for, if I'm a normal worker in Sweden,
yeah,
everything is kind of done for you. You just get a form and you say, is this what you have earned this year? Yes or no? And you just press yes, and you've done your taxes, right?
Yeah.
But in esports, you have to kind of file in all these kind of documents, invoices, everything around it. Have you had any expenses? Blah, blah, blah. It's going over my head. And that shit stressed me out.
It is.
So, yeah.
It is a stress. I just remembered, I did just ping our little guy that's our recording. We're now recording in Discord as well as all the programs we're using. We changed program last episode, so that's why me and Devilwalk's face just went a bit crazy. My week's been pretty cool. I've just been chilling with baby. I've been watching a lot of Counter-Strike. I'll say my son is now on his, I think it's his second final he's watched of Na'Vi already, if I'm correct. Because we did Rotterdam when we did Rotterdam when he was born. Yeah, and they didn't get finals in Rio, and then they just watched. So he's a true Na'Vi fan in the fact that he actually lost twice now already and got to suffer. And then at one point we were bathing him while we were watching the final, and he peed on me. So I got peed on, and we lost the final. That's just a great evening for me. Was it a
clutch moment, or
no? He was just normal round. I think it was a moment where Vitality was just dominating in the beginning part of, I'm going to say Anubis. Yeah, Anubis' second map, right? Yeah, Anubis. So anyway, we got a lot to go through. My week's been pretty good. I can't complain about anything. Just been doing dad life. Good news is soon we're traveling back for events, getting back on the road again of doing it all. But one thing we need to talk about with you is I got a message from Jaffa. Yeah. And you know what? Jaffa actually watches the stream. I'm going to bring this up on my phone because this made me laugh. Where is it? Devilwalk. So I sent it to you. Jaffa decided to say, is Devil still going to be as he is coaching Algo? Now, I love this because he could have atted you, but instead he adds me like I'm your manager and I decide everything.
I still don't understand what that means. Ever since you sent it, is Devilwalk going to be as he is?
I think he means like coaching the team, yeah? Like, I think he's trying to understand if you will be coaching the team, but you're not coaching the team, which is even funnier. But maybe, does he mean like you're still going to do the podcast? Which is yes, obviously you're still going to do the podcast. That doesn't eat into it.
To me, it sounds almost like, is Devilwalk really just going to be as he is with that team?
Is he fine being this? No. So let me
understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. So let's bring this up. We'll bring up the tweet Algo put out there, right? Because some people might look at this and think, why the hell is Devil coaching what seems to be quite a low down team? If I'm being fair, right? I'm being honest. This is the way we talk about anyone else. And It says Algo Esports. Jonatan Devilwalk Lundberg is joining Algo Esports as head of CS. So he's not joining as a coach. He's going for a different role. This is the first time you'll be doing it. And your comment, your quote here, Devilwalk, I'm going to do my best Devilwalk impression. Joining Algo is a new professional chapter for me, a fresh challenge where I can bring all my experience from competing, coaching, and working with some of the best in esports. Did you use ChatGPT to write this for you?
No, I wrote it myself.
Okay, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. My goal is to build Algo's CS division into a place players, coaches, and staff want to be part of, a healthy environment for growth with strong support, and to help the team move forward in the VRS rankings. So, first of all, just tell me what you're doing. And I guess people thought that you're coaching because you've been sat in on the games, right?
I have been, yes.
Yeah. Hands-on head of esports. Let's go. So how did this opportunity come about? What's the crack with it all? How many players are you kicking and removing to actually fight?
It was actually, I got a tweet from one of the players there, like a DM. It was Nokia.
Please don't kick me.
I've coached him in the past when we were in No Chance, before he went to...
Valorant?
No. He went to... What's that?
Hellraisers?
Hellraisers? Yeah.
Yep.
He went to Hellraisers for a time there. I coached him for a couple of months, maybe 6 months, something along those lines, before he went there. And yeah, he just reached out and said that Algo was looking for this position and if I would be interested to, having an interview with their owner. So that's essentially how it went down. Now, what I do, basically, I'm there to restructure. I came into a team that only had 3 players. And it was a little bit chaotic and everything. So for my job, it's been to stabilize the roster, first of all, talk with players, make sure we get the roster functioning. And then essentially everything around the CS team is my responsibility. If that is coaching staff, other, support staff members that are needed, looking at LAN events that we want to attend for VRS, and just making sure that everything is, run in a way that is beneficial for everyone. I have my way of, coaching and maybe philosophical beliefs of how I want the team to function and stuff like that. And I can help, the team with my expertise and, maybe problem solve a lot of times, because that's what, at the end of the day, that's what CS teams kind of do every single day. It's just problem solving. So for me, just seeing if everything is what it is, and if there is, other opportunities, be prepared for other opportunities, everything around what a CS team essentially is my job.
So there's a lot of weight on your shoulder with this one, mate.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's fun also.
And it's a Ukrainian organization, or the owner's Ukrainian?
Well, I would... The owner is Ukrainian, but I think it is, well, technically maybe not a Ukrainian org. I don't know really how to...
Where they're registered, where they're set up.
Yeah, how to categorize that. That's not really for me.
Well, good luck, mate. You get to have yourself some fun time with that one. It's a new challenge, something else to do, You're getting older, you should move on from just being a coach,
Yeah.
I just want to.
The itch is to get to me when I sit there and look at the players and hear all the discussions. I kind of just want to jump in and say my piece.
You have to hold your tongue. Fun. You find yourself having to bite your tongue a little bit.
I do, because I also know I shouldn't be imposing too much, because there's another coach who wants it in his way, and
don't step on his toes.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I probably already have, but yeah, it is what it is.
All right, well, give us a little. I've got to go close the door so the baby can actually not hear my voice and sleep. So we're going to be doing Blast Rivals review as our first thing before we get into news, everything else. So go down just your overall quick thoughts, because I'll still hear you with my wonderful wireless headset here. Go down your thoughts just on what you thought of Blast Rivals as a whole, mate.
As a whole?
Yeah. overall,
wow.
overarching. Just quickly. Like, don't go into details and stuff yet. Like, you're
that's-
buying me time.
Okay, I'm buying you time. So Blast Rivals was to me like an interesting tournament. I think it ended up being more interesting than maybe I originally even thought. A lot of that had to do with Foot kind of playing with their coach and not having longs there. But there were still some very, very exciting games. We saw kind of a resurgence of a GamerLegion. So there were a lot of interesting elements. As for the tournament as whole, thought maybe the audience could have stepped up a little bit there in Texas. I was slightly disappointed about how empty it looked with a beautiful stage, beautiful setup.
Finally 360
great.
for Blast.
Yeah, everything looked great from that perspective. You could see players even BM a little bit on stage, and there was. I thought it was set up beautifully. There was nothing wrong with the setup from Blast.
That's to be expected with Blast, though, right? They always have a good setup. We can't knock them on that. But it was sad for me. Obviously, not just because I wasn't there, but more for the fact that obviously Austin was so good, and I know it's a major, but normally I've done also Dallas, which is ESL, right? American crowds are normally fire. Where maybe we got some American audience in the podcast chat. Maybe you can let us know in the comments. Where was the Americans for this event? Why was it such a bad turnout? Because I looked Friday and thought, okay, it's just bad. This Friday. Saturday, it was a small amount better. Maybe it was more better for the people in there. I can always say this as someone who works in the arenas. Often the stream doesn't do it justice, but like there's so much effort that I think Blast had put into it because there was new graphics, new stage things, new awesome stuff that was being implemented. But then it was just very depressing because even the Sunday was just nothing. You heard the crowd because Americans can be loud, but it was just so empty, man.
The games they did seem to attend was the FaZe game.
Yeah.
The FaZe games, they were at least there and loud and cheering and booing, whatever they were doing. You could hear them at least. I felt it was a little bit lackluster in the rest of the games.
Definitely. I'll agree with that. I will also say that, like, obviously for Blast, because they run this 8-team setup, it might be less appealing for people to go for. And obviously, like, your big names were Na'Vi and Vitality. You missed out a lot of the other big names because it's hard for some of the other teams to get visas. I'll come on to a bit of that later. But let's go down initially our predictions, right? So we had a couple of fails. We had a couple of wins. So I said Foot would beat Vitality, but that was before Lounks was announced to not be there. Obviously, I hope he's better and going to be there for
You're trying to say
Atlanta.
Your prediction was correct, really?
It should have been correct. No.
Should have been correct.
Hey, they pushed Vitality.
Yeah. I said they would take a map, and I said they would push them, but I still thought Vitality would win.
Yeah, so Vitality, obviously, they came into this event straight from the beginning saying we've just not practiced. They only practiced like a couple of practice games once they got to America. So they had time off between Rio, as they deserve, and then going into this event, and they still looks crazy. So you were right. You said Vitality would win. I said Foot would win. Whatever, I'll take the loss on that. You said Astralis would beat G2. I said G2. I got that one right. We both said Na'Vi would beat FaZe. Fair enough, that went through. We both said Furia would beat GamerLegion. This was the disappointing one. This is so sad. So sad. Like,
yeah, I mean, if we remove like kind of, well, maybe we should talk about Furia more in depth later.
We'll go on to it. Yeah, we'll go on to it. Because what I want to also talk about some of the other things we said. So I said Foot will move to semis because I'm just a big Foot believer. Obviously, it wasn't that. It was Vitality. And then I said G2 and Vitality would go to quarters. It didn't happen being that way. We got Astralis there instead.
I said Vitality and Astralis in the final, and Foot going through in the lower bracket.
Yeah. So
which is
we were off considering.
Wrong.
But we were off because obviously the Foot thing happened, right? But on B, I was pretty close to being right. I said Na'Vi, Furia, and FaZe were through. I think I was the only one that said FaZe through, right?
Yep, I said
Yeah.
GamerLegion.
And you said GamerLegion. You did get GamerLegion right. I did get FaZe right. But we were both wrong about Furia. By the way, my fantasy team for Blast Rivals was absolutely dog. I got 1 point. I had Fallen and Molodoy because I just thought like some magic would happen after Fallen's announcement of retirement. That didn't work out. That was depressing at the same time. Obviously, we both predicted Vitality to win the whole event. Well, guess what? There's no surprises there. This just keeps on happening again and again and again. So let's just go down our analysis of the teams. I think for Foot, we just skip because this isn't them, you know? And even though they played with Coolio, respect him for being able to stand in for Lounge. They were still,
to some degree.
They still had competitive games, you know? The Astralis one, I'm not even going to count this in the head-to-head. If I hear people quote this head-to-head when we're talking about how good the head-to-head has been between these two teams, I'm going to keep saying you got to avoid this one because they played with their coach, man. It's not the same. This doesn't count. No. This isn't what I'm going to focus on. So let's jump straight to Furia because Furia was the team in a more than rough spot here. I was sure after a 4th place at Rio and Fallen announcing his retirement that this team would have more energy in some ways. Maybe I was just delusional, but I looked at it as if Furia know the time they've got, make the most of it they can, go even harder for Fallen and pushing forward on what success you can have. Both games went 3 maps, but like GamerLegion, okay, you win the first map 13-5. Molodoy was at his best, and I'm sat there going, oh, okay, we're really cooking with this. You lose Nuke 13-5. Which is your pick, by the way. And then you lose Mirage to them as well. I'm not going to say like, I'm not going to say any players on GamerLegion are bad. But like we've been hyping up PR, talking very positively about him.
I think the problem is that you look at this and you say, okay, FaZe and GamerLegion are probably the 2 weakest teams at this event going into it, right?
Yeah.
And Furia lost to both of them. I think that's kind of the statement where it goes wrong for Furia when you look at this. And that, yes, they aren't in great shape, but they're still, you know, they're 3rd on HLTV, 8th on VRS.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to beat number 41 and 22.
You see?
That's just how it is. And that's why it's such a major kind of letdown from a team like Furia.
But
yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, phase 1 is just, we'll go on to that later, but
well, it's also, I'm not going to doubt some of the players that are on FaZe's team, right? We know what Frozen can do. Twistzz, even if he's taken over IGL, he's still one of the elite players, right? But it's the way, the score lines, the decision making, like how off Furia felt now. I know they were saying that they had some people stay a bit longer in Rio, I heard on one interview, right? And then obviously traveling here. Fallen went to Miami rather than staying in Rio. So I'm wondering maybe their practice wasn't that good. Yeah. But it does put them in a worrying spot now. Not for anything of like their major hopes, but it just, to me, shows that they are a team that's now out of title contention. Like, this isn't a team I'm looking at who can be title contenders as of right now, even if they were at the end of last year.
Okay, so I have a question on one of the statements you said, which was they announced Fallen's retirement.
Yep.
And that they would come with a little bit more energy now.
Yeah.
If you're in a team, imagine, you know, the biggest leader, the biggest star has announced he's going to leave within, you know, a 7-month period.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take that as a positive or a negative? Like, in my shoes, I just see it as like, fuck, you know, it doesn't matter what we do because in 7 months, this isn't the team kind of deal.
I understand your thinking, but what maybe I'm reading again too much into the emotional or the personal side. But the way I looked at it was like Molodoy was almost crying when he knew Fallen was going, right? Kesara and Yuri respect him. Yakinda looks up to him, right? And speaks so positive about him in interviews.
Yeah.
So now it's time where they look at it and say, we are doing this for him, his legacy, his ending. Like that's
sure.
like
In
I
a
could take
perfect
it that
world.
way. Yeah.
I think if they were in a momentum period like they were last year, where they just kind of steamrolled people, they looked better and better every tournament they played. But if I was like Molodoy and I kind of credit a lot of what's going on in my career for the past 1 year to that person, and he announcing he's leaving, that would be devastating for me. As if I just look into Moldoy's shoes, Fallen gave me my career to a certain degree. He scouted me, he wanted to put me in, he believed in me. And in 7 months, that's over. I think everyone wants to do what you're saying, but I think the emotional impact can be different.
Yeah. And obviously it also depends on their emotional intelligence with it all and how they can all handle it as a team.
They probably haven't even digested it fully yet.
Well, they probably knew before anyone else as well, but I would say maybe they're all thinking about who is going to replace him, what's the next steps. Maybe their mind's not actually focused on what it should be. I get we won't know unless I just ask them and try and find out. But I mean, this looked bad, and it has to be a course correct. There has to be some wake up now because we're getting closer to the last couple of events before the major.
I will say though, GamerLegion and FaZe, both in this tournament, play way beyond their rankings and what they are, what they have been looking like on paper for the past couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
They played great, and it wasn't just Furia who got shocked by the quality that GamerLegion and FaZe kind of showed up with. So in that sense, if you look at it from like a perspective of now the tournament has ended, we see what they have actually done, both GamerLegion and FaZe. Is it as disappointing looking at Furia now compared to, initially in the group stage?
Yeah.
We'll wait and see.
I think it's hard to say at an event like this, and I'm taking a lot of these results with a pinch of salt because all you had to do was win one game to make playoffs. Like when we're talking about this top 8, top 6 being in playoffs, Rivals is obviously it's all changing in Blast for next year, right? They've learned from this, all the format changes, all the way they're doing things, but this is such an anomaly event that it doesn't compare right now, even though it has the good prize money, it doesn't compare to a Rio or an Astana or a Cluj or something like that,
Yeah.
Because the wiggle room to do good or bad is like, it's not Swiss system. It's not playing through the Bukol system. It's nothing. It's a group A, B. You win one game, you're through. You lose 2 games, you're out. And you can be saved by just having like a good one-off day,
True, that makes it even worse.
Yeah. But it makes it worse on both sides. Like, it also makes it hard for me to quantify like this GamerLegion run. How many times have we seen GamerLegion go to like a PGL event, and they suffer because it's the 3 games to go through, and they can't handle it. That's my thinking when it comes to this. G2 is who I want to look at next because G2, I feel like this is a positive. I'm still impressed by some of what I'm seeing here, and I'm liking it. But they almost had Vitality 2-0. That 2-0 was right there for the... Well, they did lose the first half 10-2, but it's the way they came back into the second half to do the same to them. And then it was getting like... It's the crazy streak of rounds. So when G2 had theirs right on their T side, it was a couple of odd rounds. One player I'll point out as well is Sun Pius. Still, even though he's not leading now, and even though Hunter's back, still very positive. I'm still seeing a Sun Pius that is like, he's back. It wasn't a one tournament wonder last time around when Hunter wasn't there and he was just calling for himself. Like something has been figured out a bit better here for him. But I will say once Vitality got to overtime, boy, there was different. There was no chance for G2 because those last couple of rounds, right? They had Vitality on the ropes. They had Vitality on low economy. They had Vitality pressured as well. Like, it was theirs. It was really theirs. And then you win Overpass as well. And Dust 2 was, by the way, was a map that G2 were picking at some points. Like, it was a good map for G2. And they got absolutely battered in the end as well.
Yeah, but Vitality's Dust 2 is just next level. It is really, really next level. I don't know what their stat. Oh, they've lost it once, and it's against Foot. It is their perma, like, kind of first pick. It is incredibly good. It's one of those maps with Vitality where they have everything figured out. How do you want to be aggressive? How do you want to, like, in different ways? And it's beautiful to watch, and there's constant pressure. So I understand why when you go against the Vitality, Dust 2 isn't really... maybe you're okay with it as a last. Maybe, but they would never... No one in the right mind picks Dust 2 against Vitality.
Yeah. And then the sad part's going to come for them losing to FaZe on the quarterfinals. Now, we can say, yeah, FaZe had the power behind them of the crowd and stuff. But for me, I'll ignore the first two maps. Like, FaZe picked Dust 2 against G2. And again, I'm going to keep saying G2's Dust 2 was, in general, looking pretty good. Sunpice, again, had a phenomenal map here. It was a lot of clutches going away of FaZe, which obviously benefited them. Then G2 win their pick of Ancient. I wouldn't say it was any real problems.
But I think
this Mirage,
this game was the best game in the entire tournament. The G2 FaZe game,
most exciting.
Hands down the most exciting game. It was craziness happening on the server.
Craziness. I'm gonna quote Shox. Shox said, because I love the fact that she dropped a Dragon Ball reference during the broadcast. She said Frozen went Super Saiyan, and he actually did. This guy was doing, I don't know. There was a do you remember the moment where it was like? Do you remember the moment where it was Twistzz and Frozen retaking from CT spawn, and they just clean up everyone in a matter of seconds, and it's like,
oh yes,
bro,
yes.
they were just. They hit that point, and that was one of those rounds where if it had gone G2's way, I feel like G2 win that game.
Yeah,
that would have been theirs because it was like a Tech 9 round. Like Heavy got pushed through the smoke and pushed in. Yeah. It was super incredible.
But it's also like, you know, some of the resident sleepers like Brokey, fantastic tournament from him.
Yep.
And this game he was fantastic. He had pretty low rating, but I think frag-wise, he had a lot of impact. He was 51 and 40 with a 104 rating. So it's pretty low rating compared to his kill-death ratio.
But his impact, and he had 1.29 round swing.
Yeah.
So, like, he was impactful in the rounds he was getting.
And that's like... And I also like this Nature guy. He did some really, really important stuff. Was it the G2 Mirage game? I think it was the Mirage game where he was like kind of dancing around the B boxes on site in that one.
Yeah, the timing. Yeah, it was like a cat and mouse.
On top of box first, and then he kind of killed the planter coming from short, and he dropped down. He kind of played around with him for like 12-13 seconds and just won it.
He played with Nerds. Yeah, he played with Nerds on that. So the thing is here, right, when you look at this for G2 as a team and the time they've been together should be doing way better than this phase. Yeah. And they should be more than able to handle this. I don't think there's anyone's like so much I'm going to put blame on here, but I'm just going to put, this is another part where it just makes me think that G2 are kind of just a middling team, you know? Like, to not take these kind of games over the line is a problem for them. A big problem.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. FaZe, you know, we heard, I think, Alexi B even talking about it after they played FaZe, that they probably had like 10 days of practice with this lineup, if even that. So, for G2 to lose against this FaZe is, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing for all teams. Furia, as well as G2. But FaZe was strong. They were unpredictable. They felt like they were on point individually. Something we haven't seen in a while from them.
But how, like, looking at that, you said unpredictable. A lot of their plays was very gamble heavy, very rush heavy, very all in. Yeah. Is that something that you can build upon, or is this just like a early part where we look at and say, okay, it's working for now, but is that sustainable?
I don't think that that's their approach to everything. I just think that they found a way to start playing together, and they found a simplified version of Counter-Strike where they can use their skill, they can create chaos, and they play high speed kind of Counter-Strike with high pressure, which is something that FaZe has always, been good at, but it's been more on a individual basis, more defaulty in the past. Now it's more explosive and unpredictable. So I think in that sense, they've just done the best they can in the situation they're in. I don't think we're going to see FaZe be exactly the same in all the tournaments going forwards with this lineup. I think they're definitely going to have to develop something else, because that stuff is easily read with today's programs like Skybox or whatever, when you watch people's patterns and behaviors. It's pretty easy to shut that stuff down. But it's good to have in your playbook to throw in every once in a while. But I'm expecting a more developed FaZe as time moves on.
Yeah, definitely. So away from G2, then we can move to Astralis. Astralis also, obviously, super positive when we look at where they got to at EPL finals into Bucharest. Here, they lose to G2. It's the way they lost to G2, which was kind of sad, especially on their pick of overpass. I just expect more from Astralis, especially from what we've seen from them. Then they beat Foot, but this is a beating Foot where it's the coach standing. So, okay. And then, again, they lose overpass, this time to GamerLegion. Rez had a fantastic time, but so did Snacks. And I got to credit this.
PR was back.
PR's been back, and I think someone touched on it in one of the interviews with PR that, like, since Snacks came in, he's not been the same player, right? It's been a long time of not seeing PR at the same level. But whatever's happened, whatever changes come in, he's found his groove again, he's found his form, and that's the PR that I honestly didn't think would be staying on GamerLegion because someone would come and snap him up. So maybe we're back on that train again. But also, like, GamerLegion were 9-3 down. 9-3 down on Inferno. And win 16-14. Like, I'm not saying that
they were even. It was worse than 9-3. I watched it today. Sorry, my voice is.
You're dying.
Yeah, it's like dry throat. It was way worse. It was 12-4.
Because this was the last map. It was late. So I don't remember everything. You keep drinking, that's fine. Snacks was a beast on this map as well. He was pulling them. Like, the thing is, Snacks is the gift that keeps on giving, man. Snacks, like, people wanted to count him out after a stint with G2 and say he wasn't going to do it again, but I'm still saying he's got it, man. He's still got it. And he can lead a team. If they believe in him, he can lead a team.
No, he was really good in this game. He had some really, really snappy moments. He's the reason they actually made this comeback on Inferno. He had so many important kills. He picked up the pistol round on CT side. They did lose afterwards, but in the anti-eco scenario. But he was immense in this game. Him and Rest were the powerhouse on Inferno. And, I mean, we're talking about Astralis here.
Yep.
And for me, I see Astralis as someone who can wake up on the right side of bed and they can play a great game on Counter-Strike. And we see it every single tournament. It's almost like they're floppy.
Flip-flopping.
They're flip-flopping. Because it's one good game, one bad game, one good game, one bad game.
Yeah.
And it's always like this. I mean, I can look back at other tournaments where they've played where I've been impressed, disappointed. It just keeps happening that they can't figure out a way to have that stability. I mean, the one tournament they had was obviously PGL Bucharest, but if you look at other tournaments, it's kind of flip-floppy depending on the day. And it's like you say, first game, Astralis G2, they don't really stand a chance, but I'd still consider, Astralis to be in the same kind of category as G2.
Yeah, but that's what I was
match up,
Yeah. You expect that to be more competitive.
Yes, it should be a third mapper. It should be tight. It should be, And as you say, the foot game, we can't really count it. It's a good game for Astralis, but can we really count it in the same way? And then it's not just, one. But then if we kind of summarize Astralis tournament, they came to the quarterfinals winning 0 games. That's how it is. That's how it is.
That's a bit harsh, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. If we can't
count the foot game, they just lost their way to the quarters and lost. It's weird. So they have one win, and it's against Foot in this tournament, and lose in the quarterfinals. I don't think it was good enough. I think this is where they should be pushing a GamerLegion. They should be overpowering a GamerLegion, and they should definitely be making it much closer against the G2.
Yeah. And they're going to some of the smaller events. They're going to Atlanta, which we'll cover later on as well. But that's one where they should have more, what I would say on paper, a better chance to thrive as well. Looking next at FaZe, who I think we're pleasantly surprised by, considering Nature's just standing in for these guys at the moment. Do you want a fun fact? The first practice game that FaZe played was against Falcons with Karrigan.
I saw that, yeah.
Obviously, by the way,
slightly awkward.
For people who don't know, you have to accept these games, right? So, you put the games out there, you go onto the
you don't
the
have
thing that
to
gives
accept them.
No, I mean you have to choose to accept them. Yeah. So both teams agreed to this. That's what's brilliant. Yeah, it's not like you just put a time slot and you get a random team. No, this was something they agreed on. I do hear that Falcons did win that practice game, but it is just a practice game, whatever, right? But that was day one of practice for Falcons with Karrigan as well. So that's like an interesting zinger one in there. But looking at this, since Budapest, this is the best performance for FaZe Clan. Twistzz IGL. They're kind of worried in the back of their minds that is Frozen even going to want to stay with this team now? Yeah? Or how long until maybe Frozen gets pulled into Falcons after if Twistzz doesn't make it? I don't know. Anything that could happen in that world of speculation. But this FaZe, they played with some heart. They played with some confidence. They lost to Na'Vi twice 2-0, but they beat Furia. They beat G2.
I'd argue even that this is the best performance. If we remove the Budapest Majors over a year ago, we've seen a FaZe
make a deep run.
Even as competent as this performance.
Yeah, EPL 22, right? 4th place.
22?
Before that.
Oh.
Season 22. Season 22, not 2022.
Yeah, I was like, what? That's
not
that long ago.
Season 22.
It's not that far back, I'm thinking.
Season 22.
Yeah.
Yeah? That was 4th place for them, and then everything else after that was pretty terrible. Outside of Budapest, obviously.
Yeah. It's a long time ago.
And again, okay, you only win 2 games, but you beat a Furia, you beat a G2. The G2 one is like the big legit one for me. Fair enough, you're not able to challenge Na'Vi, and it kind of both just goes the same way. But it's like
didn't play badly.
No, and both times on Ancient it was close, considering that's like the Makazi special map as well. I'll say that it's respectable considering Na'Vi is like the 2nd best team in the world right now. And it's something they can be proud of. And also NKJ, Frozen spoke about him very structured, how he's doing all these things. So he has all that structure, right? And obviously they're playing a bit more gun-ho at the moment. But this could be a nice balance, because it is a bit sad for me when I hear Twistzz say I'm ready to take over this IGL thing again, because he did it in Liquid and I wanted to see him back to being a star. And he was look down his ratings in these events. In general, even when they were doing badly, he was having good events. Like he's mainly in the green. He has a couple of red tournaments in here. But him and Frozen were the mega carries of that team. He's obviously going to have to sacrifice some of that. He even did this event. But I mean, if he really wants to do this, and he's now got NKJ who can be that very structured person behind it, and also he's now got a point to prove, because Twistzz was the one publicly talking about all this stuff with Karrigan, right? And if he's going to then show up and make this team deliver where Karrigan couldn't, that's got a bit of spice to it.
It's got a little bit of spice, and it's also like, I don't know, it's weird to me that an in-game leader leaves and all of a sudden the team performs better.
It's just one event. It's just one event.
It is just one event, but, and I'm not saying that this will ever be the case, but it still poses the question in my mind. You know, it's like I go back to Kiyoshima was the problem, you know, and all of this. And, you know, I've seen some memes kind of come up on Reddit and Twitter and stuff like that.
As always.
Like Karrigan, what's the problem? Or, I don't know, they incorporated his name into like a problem. Crow, blah, blah. Like, I don't know what they kind of meshed together. But
okay.
Someone's tried something. It didn't really stick.
It obviously didn't work. You can't even explain it good.
But it poses me the question. It makes me so interested, like even more interested to see what Falcons eventually is going to be when they have their debut. And for me, it also applies a lot more pressure on a Falcons debut with Karrigan, because I think people kind of look at this event, they look at FaZe's performers like, oh, they're revitalized. They are, you know, they're back again, and Karrigan isn't there.
Yep.
I think the next, you know, they see FaZe, and the next is like, where's Falcons? Where's Falcons? Where's Falcons? You know? I think it's just a natural way of like being human. You look at this,
there's going to be comparison.
I want to see this.
Yeah, there's a comparison. There's always going to be a comparison, right? Especially with how high profile it is at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to jump the gun on this when it comes to FaZe, but I'll say that this was a positive surprise, because I honestly just had them going out in last place. Like, I didn't think they would have any hope in hell chance.
It's the absolute best they've played for over a year. I think even stints during the major, they played way worse than they did this.
Yep.
And it's fun to see. It's great to see. We need these kinds of you know, excitement, because I think this is the only games where the audience actually were on their feet, screaming, riled up in Fort Worth,
yeah.
Fort Worth in Texas. I think this one people liked.
All right, so we'll go from FaZe now into the other third to fourth place team, GamerLegion. GamerLegion's run is legit, by the way, and they were VRS they were VRS 22 before this, and now they're going to be up at like 13th. So this is going to help them going forward. Obviously, a lot will change after major and stuff as well, so there'll be a lot more up and downs. But for GamerLegion, you only lost to Na'Vi and Vitality. Now, against Na'Vi, you had a little bit of a chance on Mirage, but then you got dominated. And against Vitality, you even took them to overtime. So there's some respect to be earned there, but obviously, Vitality stuff we'll come on to later. You beat Furia and you beat Astralis. Beating Furia, that's fucking impressive. I'll take that. Beating Astralis is really good as well. I don't have much negative to say about these guys. But is that just because I have my expectations so low on them?
I mean, for me, you know, I remember this GamerLegion side when they got Hypex. I felt like they finally kind of
finally an AWPer
players, finally an AWPer they can play with. That they got everything kind of meshed together in the right way. And obviously, Ash kind of burned out, and the team kind of took a drop from there. But this is where I've kind of seen them for a while, where they should be. They should be like a top 10 to 15 in the world. They should be every once in a while in these tournaments making problems for some of the big teams. They have such a young, exciting squad. And with Snacks leading it, it's just getting more exciting. Because even though he's an in-game leader, that man has X Factor in him. Like, he radiates X Factor.
Yeah.
Even though he can be like, a badly performing player on the scoreboard, so to speak, he still has those crazy moments. He still has that snacksiness in it.
Definitely. You mentioned Hypex though, and I'm not going to discredit him of having he was the worst performing player for GamerLegion. He might have been the worst performing player in the playoffs. Yeah, he was the worst. Oh, Rio was worse than him by 0.1. So he was one of the worst rated performers in the playoff side.
Furia.
Yeah, at the very beginning in groups. But my thing is, I feel like the right pieces are together on this. It's just about understanding how to play off each other. Because there's moments where I just see glimpses from everyone. Towson had that crazy play. I think it was an ace in the end, right? Against who was it? The ace against that Towson had.
It was overpass or what? No.
I remember Inferno.
It was PR. If I was thinking about.
But Towson had a maybe it was against Furia. Let me see. Yeah, Towson ace with 1v4 clutch, and that was on Inferno, and they even lost the map. But there's so many good moments that you see from the individual players at different times. So if it can all come together, then there's something they can work with in there. They've got the stability now of the same 5 players. They've got the stability of the coach now. They know that Ash isn't coming back. So this is now something to build upon on the right game plan, the right vision of how they want to be. Still don't like the new logo. Go back to the old one. They've also got the old logo and the new logo on the jersey, which bothers me. And obviously there's all that. Yeah, there's the new logos up here, and then the old logos here.
I'm gonna look at some galleries here.
Yeah, look at this. It's god awful. Why would you put 2 logos together? It feels like they just ran out of sponsors, and maybe with the recent drama, they won't be getting any sponsors. But it doesn't make sense. You see it now?
Oh, they do.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, huh? You wouldn't really have two the new logo and the old logo.
This logo. To me, this just looks like either a metal band or
I said rock band.
Diablo. Yeah. It just looks like a Diablo logo. If I just
wait, this is the worst thing we can criticize is how stuff is going on behind that's nothing to do with the team, right? Some of the dodgy stuff that came out in the news, and then the logo and the jersey stuff. That's the worst things we can say about these guys right now.
No, but they're a young, exciting team, and I'm sure some of these players we are going to see in big teams. Not too far of a future.
But that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you just see this now going to be a feeding team again?
100%.
So PR still the next to go? Or does Rez get another shot? Rez is how old now? He is 28.
It all depends. So the only way they don't become a feeding team is if they make the same journey the Gambit youngsters, the Foot, of this world, where they make a meteoric rise from this position. I don't see that happening with the GamerLegion. I don't see them being like a top 5 team this year, and all of a sudden, being one of the most scary teams to play against. I still think they can do damage, and I think they can beat some top teams.
Yep.
But I don't see them making that straight up jump.
Fair. All right, and then we come on to second place, Na'Vi. Once again, silver medals in hand. No, actually, there's no medals at Blast, but silver trophy, whatever. Silver place, second place. Yep. They beat FaZe, they beat GamerLegion, they beat FaZe again, and then they get 3-0 against Vitality. I'm still very positive around Wonderful, Makazi, the individuals, people stepping up. Imra even had a good tournament, despite what people want to say. Bit is actually still kind of on the cusp, obviously within his role, but he's not at the heights of what he used to be. Na'Vi are so close. They are so close. If we just don't look at the fact that they can't win a map, they're still breaking in some moments. They actually mentally held their ground better than I expected after losing the first map, considering they had that map in their hands.
I thought they were screwed after that.
Yeah,
it's such a blunder and such an opportunity.
I know.
I can almost feel them as I was watching. I was watching Wonderful after the game, and it's just he's still shell-shocked at what just transpired.
It just got worse, right? So do you know how many clutches were in this game, by the way? To put this in there was Nuke, 4 clutches each side, so 8 clutches total. Obviously, Na'Vi winning the majority in the beginning part of the game, and then Vitality winning in the second part of the game into overtime, which Na'Vi didn't stand a chance in.
11 Vitality ones.
Then there was 4 in Anubis, but 3 were in favor of Vitality. So really, Na'Vi should have had a chance of taking that Anubis. And then we get to Dust 2, and it's just 4 for Vitality, none for Na'Vi. And people can say, oh, Na'Vi is so bad. Bro, so many teams have been already 3-0'd or 3-1 or whatever, been dominated by by Vitality over and over again. Like, we are witnessing the greatest team in Counter-Strike history right now. Na'Vi are close, and Na'Vi are playing better. I actually saw Blade cheering and smiling. I was like, ooh, okay, we're cooking.
That was when it was like 10-0 up on...
Yeah, you know, you would be. If you're in his situation, you would be. Probably the comms were flowing so well. But the what I look at this is, before we were so praising Makazi, and obviously the fact he was doing better and better, but we need to start giving Wonderful some credit as well. He's still having some of these moments where he loses it a bit, or he struggles in clutches, which he's always done. But he's becoming back to that beast level we saw at Budapest. That's what I'm starting to see again. That's being found. Something they can rely on.
Na'Vi needs like a major every 3 months, so Wonderful wakes up like in that span.
So you need 4 majors a year, yeah?
Continues the whole year. Because I feel like that's kind of Wonderful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coming up to the major, that's when Wonderful awakens. That's when he shows his best work. But yeah, I think overall for Na'Vi, this was probably the best tournament I've seen from them. I think they were really unlucky in this game to not pick up, obviously, Nuke. I thought they had a great chance in Anubis. I felt like they fought back in a way, you know, in the mid round. Because if we look at Anubis, it didn't really start their way.
No.
It was like 5-1 or something for Vitality. They were on the T side. To climb back and bring 5 rounds back in a row on CT side Anubis, that's not very easy. So for me, I think there's more ingredients to Na'Vi right now. Instead of, in previous tournaments, it's been Makase only.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see the entire team kind of level up a little bit, where we see Bit, Imme, Wonderful, all having great games. I mean, I think Alexi B always, like, positionally, he's really, really good. This Vitality game wasn't really his game, but it still has impact.
He had some highlights on Nuke at the beginning half. He had some highlight individual holes.
But I think it was one of the better playing Na'Vis I've seen. And for me, just every time I watch them, it feels like they have taken a step in the right direction. They have taken, you know, 1 inch closer towards Vitality. I feel like they're playing a little bit of catch up and catching up a little bit. Obviously, there's still a huge gap. It's not like, you know, we can talk about Vitality's excuses that they didn't practice and all of that. They're still the best team in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm sad Na'Vi didn't win a map, because I think they actually deserved it in this series.
Yeah, more so than previously when we saw it in Rotterdam, right? There was more of a fight in it. There was them taking control of games. There was them coming. The fact for me that they were so far down on Anubis and they came back into the game showed that's such a positive turnaround for Na'Vi, which was not there of old. That was not what they were capable of doing. And to say, I can't ever say like they deserve to get a map, because that's the ultimate fanboy in me. But it's like they played like they could have get a map. Actually, it was. 100%. It looks like it's possible. It looked like it was something we could believe in. Ultimately, it didn't go that way, and that's what will be seen at the end of it all. And I don't want to just push on, like, Makazi, we speak so positively about, right? But he struggles against Vitality. If you look down the numbers he has against Vitality, his style of play, his way of playing doesn't work. It works against all the other teams they're playing right now. Yeah. So he has to, same as his Inferno learning, he has to individually learn some of that as well, because you're never going to get to play Ancient against Vitality. So you best find out another way of doing it, you know? You best find another way of finding some individual success against them, because if you do have that, he played a phenomenal on Anubis, But imagine if he played up to the normal Makazi levels on Nuke, they would 100% have secured that map.
But isn't that just playing the best team in the world? I mean,
okay, but then there's the other side of it.
Him playing bad, but just having Rops, Flamesy, Messi, Saivu kind of in your crosshairs. He gets he
was losing to Apex in so many duels. Go look at the head-to-head.
Apex ain't bad, man. He's
not
one of the
bad,
hardest hitting people right now.
But Makazi,
I saw a post about Apex. He had like a 130 rating the last 3 months on CT sides.
Oh, he's back again. He's back again. But this is on T site, by the way. He was also doing this. Like he was hammering Makazi because it felt like. So, for example, Makazi would do like a smoke spam on Yard, yeah, and then Apex would just play the timing perfectly, and he's kind of in the open or reloading in the open, or then there'd be a smoke, and the moment that Makazi's like expecting him to come from one side, it'll poke out another. It's just he needs to learn to be a bit more aware. That's why I gave the Inferno example of just getting used to that, because it felt like they always had his number. On Anubis, I don't know what he ended the stats of on Anubis. Makazi was top fragging for the server. He did incredibly well. But the other person I got to point out is Bit. Now, Bit doesn't have the most glorious roles, yeah? But the Bit of old was so dominant. The Bit of old was the headshot machine, be able to lock it down time and time again. And I know,
like a old Manchester United fan thinking about the glory days.
No, but he's still so young, bro. He's 23. And his overall ratings at events is not bad, right? He's always in the green. But I don't know. I don't know if it's mentality. I don't know if he just falls down sometimes. But it's what these people are capable of. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe it's just a Na'Vi fan in me. But those little inches would have given us the map.
100% your Na'Vi fan right now. I'm just gonna let you do it, but it is 100%.
I'm just hurting, man.
Right now.
I'm hurting, man.
Oh, if we just had Bit from 2022, then we would have taken both Nuke and Newbie.
I'll say it this, right? I had to watch Na'Vi lose and my son peed on me at the same time. It was just a bad time. It was a bad time. Everything all at once. They are bonding experiences. But Na'Vi's definitely the second best team in the world, but it's going to get more interesting when we see them in a field where the Falcons and the Spirits and the Mouzes are there as well, right? Because that was the case in Rio. It was a different story in Rio though, right? Because they didn't meet any of them. So they didn't meet any of the top dogs there. They only lost to Vitality and Furia. And Vitality was just the first playoff game they had. So I'm the next event they'll have where they'll actually link up will be the major, where they have the chance to go against the big team. So that's also Na'Vi needing to be ready for those kind of guys again, because we're in this weird world with how TOs are and teams going to different events, where Astana, Atlanta, this event, people are skipping because of the American events.
But it makes it more exciting. I swear to you, it makes it more exciting. Because now I'm just like, Falcons wasn't here.
Yeah.
When are they going to play? And you get the storylines where
Astana.
I actually get excited. I get awoken, where as a fan, I need to check this tournament out.
Yeah.
Before it was just like, I don't know, this was a random round.
Everyone's going again.
Yeah. It's just like...
it's like same 16, same, just different tournament name,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it was ESL Blast or if it was PGL.
I like this.
So let's go on to the inevitable, the dominant. It's not even close. We can't glaze them any further. They are on their 5th tournament win in a row once again. The streak is continuing. They only fail at Bounty. So it's been Krakow. Yes, for you, they still need this last Bounty. I don't think they care. But it's 5 tournament trophies in a row. I think I'll say this now. I think Vitality are going to do better this year than they did in 2025. Look at your face. I think because they didn't, and I know you're gonna hate this, but they said they didn't practice before this tournament. Their practice started when they arrived at the event in America, yeah, and they still handled everyone.
Why didn't they practice, Banks?
They needed time off.
They needed time off.
Yeah, but because they're doing so many events, they're winning so much.
They're tired, Banks. They're tired.
Bro, let me
They had
just
the
look.
same-
No.
same-
This doesn't work, Devil. This doesn't work. Look at this, right? They're going to go to Atlanta, where it's literally, other than Na'Vi, there's no teams there that can be super competitive against them. So it's an even easier tournament than what they've just entered.
Which makes it harder because they want.
Okay. They're going to win Atlanta. I'm just putting it out here now. They're not going to CAC. So then they're off from the 17th of May until the 11th of June. Their schedule's fine. They won't be tired when it comes to the major, mate. Obviously, they need to come back to practice and
We're
celebrate.
talking about a whole year here. No, we're not just.
Okay, I'm saying they've mastered the schedule. They've mastered the schedule. They are going to win Atlanta. They were probably going to win the major, unless Falcons and Karrigan do some magic.
I think they're going to win the major too, but to say they're going to have a better year than last year.
Yeah, but remember how bad 2025 second half of the year was until they won the major? No, the second half of that year was, yeah. I feel like they'll do better this next time around.
The best year in Counter-Strike.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it for them, man.
I mean, it's not impossible. I'm just saying it's unlikely.
It's going to happen.
All right.
I'm just putting it out there. The bank's prediction is thrown out to the wild.
The Na'Vi fanboy is essentially saying that Na'Vi won't be making any trophies this year from this point onwards. Is that what you're saying?
I'll just say this. There is a member of Vitality. No, there's a member. There's a member of Vitality using my mousepad. There is not a member of Na'Vi using my mousepad. Maybe when Vitality maybe when Mezzy doesn't use my mousepad and then more. I'm on full cope. No, I will say it. I don't think Na'Vi will, unless Vitality aren't at the tournament. Then yeah. And by the way, the next half of the year, there's many people skipping tournaments and doing all craziness again. So there will be that chance for an EPL win for Na'Vi, or a smaller event win for Na'Vi, one of the smaller ESL events. It's definitely possible.
All right.
So let's look at Vitality's run. 2-1 Foot, 2-1 G2. By the way, definitely could have lost the G2 game, as we already touched on. But they were just kind of learning. So Flamesy said it on the interview at the desk, right? That like all this update had happened. We spoke to players on the podcast, right? I messaged them and got feedback on the new update, the Animagraph update. And Flamesy's like, it's not really that big of a change. Like there's some things, but he didn't think it was so huge, right? Obviously, I'm paraphrasing here. But they did have to kind of jump back into CS, get used to it again, and they saw some struggles. So even with that level of game, they took down Foot with a coach. Obviously, it didn't look as bad as when you look at it this way, right? But obviously, they beat him on Mirage. They started off really strong on Nuke and couldn't finish it at the end. They did lose their Dust too, right? 2 Foot. Another map with losing of streaks as well. But not at any point did I feel worried that Vitality wouldn't win the tournament. You know, if that makes sense. They can drop a map. They can come back into games. They could be down against Na'Vi like they were in the finals, but they weren't losing. This is just where they're at.
They were definitely rusty, and you could see, Extas and Apex kind of yelling at the boys, trying to get everyone to get, into more team play and play off each other.
Focused up.
More. Because there was definitely a situation where they got caught off guard, which was very un-Vitality. But in the end, they grew from every game and kind of got back into a level they needed to be at. Yeah.
And it's another Zywoo MVP. I do love the Zywoo interview where he said, like, for once, I'll say I robbed my teammates, because he said Rops robbed one from him. And then now he robbed one from Rops because Rops played so amazing in that final. By the way, what was his rating at the end of that final? Like, let me see. Because I know Rops was just like the mega carry. All those clutches. 155 rating in the final. 155. 60 for 39. He had so many clutches. His 5-7 plays. Bro, his 5-7. It was wonderful. Holding pillar on B side. It's in a 1v1. Wonderful's got the AK. This is a round on Anubis that probably would have secured the map or given them a fighting chance in the map, because nothing's secured against Vitality. And it was just the perfect, 2 shots and finished him off with that 5-7. Rops read it perfectly.
It's kind of weird that Rops didn't win it.
Rops did win it. Oh, I thought you meant the clutch. You meant the MVP.
The MVP. Because
So-
wasn't the last tournament like
I
Saivu because of his great final?
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's compare the difference, right? So Rops had a 1.1 compare a 1.16, right, for Rops, but an insane final, and then a 1.34 for Zaiwu. So the difference is substantial. Yeah. Zaiwu also had a good final. Flames is in the middle of these two, by the way, 1.21 rating across all of it, but obviously didn't have such the impact on the final. What event was this at? It was at Rotterdam, right, where we last had this up and arms confusion about it all. So if I now go to Rotterdam, it was again against Navi. Rops was 1.56. Zaiwu was 1.22. This is final. Rops was 1.55. Zaiwu was 1.29. But if you go to Rotterdam and you look down how actually close it was, Zaiwu was 147, but Rops was 132. So what's that? A 0.15 difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the overall difference in rivals was it's too high.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a 128. I don't know. I need to work this out.
128. What are these numbers, man?
The ratings.
Yeah, I understand. But
so
why are you saying 128? What's the difference?
The difference is 0.18.
18.
Yeah, 0.18. It's not that huge. Bro, I can't work out HLTV's numbers with this. I can't at all.
I don't know. I thought from the last one the finals were more important than the group
Yeah.
stage. It didn't really matter that much. So in my head, I just see it like it doesn't matter if Rops has a bad group stage. Because it won't count as badly as a good rating in a good group stage, if that makes sense.
The one that Rops won, he was 0.15 behind. This time he was 0.18 behind. How was his other matches? How was Rops' other matches in playoffs as well? Because you need to look at like all his playoff matches, right?
Playoffs are the most important.
So he did really well against GamerLegion, 1.21, 1.36. He did. That's it. That's all his playoff matches.
Yeah.
So he did have some bad games against G2 and some bad games against Foot in group stage.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, they're all three of them are deserving of a MVP to some extent.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that is our wrap on everything Blast Rivals. So someone, if you are American, maybe if you attended the event, let us know what you thought of it overall and maybe why it wasn't more packed out than that. Considering it is also still 3 days of like great playing, great teams. But I guess it could be just down to the team list, which maybe Atlanta will also struggle with in there. But Atlanta's also inside a DreamHack, right? DreamHack Atlanta. Yeah. So they benefit from having the DreamHack party at the same time. So you'll get more people come in the same way Dallas was. So that's a different thing if you compare it. But I will stand by it that the American crowds are always normally really good. I do enjoy them. This one was just very lacking of people. And was a bit of a shame, especially considering the new style.
Maybe it was because Furia wasn't in the playoff.
Not in Brazil, bro.
No, but what do you mean? You don't think Brazilians pack up American arenas?
They could, but I mean,
They're fucking packing up Europe arenas.
But also, they would have bought the tickets before anyone even knew what was happening.
Well, that's true.
Something doesn't add up here. Something doesn't add up here. If it was just the teams, maybe.
Just fuck it. We're not going now.
Yeah. Maybe it's the fact that both events are so close together, Atlanta and Fort Worth. And then obviously Atlanta probably offers more value to a spectator considering you get to go to the DreamHack stuff as well. I'm a big fan of the DreamHack ones because when we always used to do Dallas, I used to finish work and I'd still be able to go into the exhibition area and there'd be anime stalls, there'd be some Street Fighter going on, some tech, and like there was a lot of other stuff we could do, you know? So maybe that plays a factor. Someone can let us know in the comments either way. But we will get on to some of our recent news. So while all of this was going on, it was already teased, but Valve has released an update with the new cache rework. I haven't played any of it, mate. So you're going to be the one that have to fill me in here. It's obviously only in the competitive, casual, deathmatch, retake modes. But this is a map that I personally have fond memories of. I love the map. I don't know about you, your thoughts on cache overall. I don't know, did you like cache and cobblestone, or did you prefer one or the other?
I hated cobble. I like cache.
Okay, I liked cobble from even 1.6 days. Very CT-sided map back then. But I like both of them. I'm a fan of cache. I just always enjoy playing it. I'm happy to see it back, and I hope this means that I'd let Valve, please, someone, if you ever watching this podcast, announce on the grand finals of the major, because you already tell the players and teams before. They already tell the players and teams, right? They know that the map's coming if you're at the major, that is. But just on the grand final, before the grand final, the announcement, we'll stand on stage and we'll be like,
crowd with a
Valve is going to be in the competitive map pool from tomorrow. All the teams will be practicing it. It's there for the VRS. Boom. That would be phenomenal.
That would be sick.
That would be so good. But yeah.
So, I haven't played the map.
Okay.
I haven't played it. I haven't played a competitive game on it. But I've looked around on it. Looks good. I think it looks pretty
It's not green. It's not green anymore. That's good.
I like the aesthetic a lot more than the original.
The green version.
Kind of. It's not original. Middle version.
Yeah, the one that was before this, right, where it was all just green and low FPS.
Looks clean, looks good. Looks like they thought about nade usage, flashes. You know, I think it's going to be a little bit interesting. Like on B side, there's like a pipe blocking the window, but would still flash players playing on the B side and stuff like that. So you can kind of run with flashes as you run in. So it looks like they thought about a lot of this stuff. And it's going to be interesting to see how it actually plays. They obviously kept like the wallbang area from when you rotate around under heaven for CT side if they take the vent room.
Nice.
They've removed that damn window in mid mirage.
Oh, the one you hated.
Mid cache CT side.
The little jump up to it, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely found disturbing to many levels.
Well, that's good then. That's good. It's gone.
Yeah, it's great.
Perfect.
But yeah, I like it. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I remember how it was played at the end of the competitive map pool. So I'll go on a little bit of a rant of how it used to be played. And maybe if you guys spot something when you're watching cache actually being played or when you play it yourself, right? Biggest issue for CT side, you kind of had to smoke all three parts of the map. So you smoked A main, you smoked mid, and you smoked B. You didn't want mostly them to take mid control, but because that gave them access to vents, drop down, you can split, you can fake. So you kind of wanted to have that central area a lot, but it was kind of impossible to hold all the time. But essentially it meant that CTs had very little utility to play with. So double oping is great. Being aggressive into A main is great, because then you can kind of funnel the smokes into mid again and playing deep in the cover or deep into A main, so that you kind of keep some control and can leave them there. But it ended up being a competitive kind of place where teams just waited.
Yeah.
They waited for the smokes to kind of be used from the CTs. They let them take space. And the map became really, really slow at the end of the competitive scene. So I'm worried we'll see a very, very slow-paced style on cache again as we move into it. But I think in the beginning, you probably never start off that way. People are going to test the limits a little bit more. So I hope to get that kind of very, very aggressive boosting, flashing out mid, and taking spakes, dropping vents, a lot of these flashy, fast-paced plays that you can do on this map, and also feature a lot of like great executes, like spawn smokes and all that kind of good stuff.
Did they remove Simple's graffiti?
Yeah.
Ooh. They should add that back. Don't remove graffitis, man.
Well, they had all the Fnatic ones back then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just add everything back. Well, I don't want to see
Yeah.
graffitis gone. I think you should have all graffitis on. It's legacy of our game. Yeah. Don't take them away. Don't take them away. Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to playing it a little bit. I'll probably play some in Astana before I head there.
Yeah.
Or when I head there. That's probably my best time to be able to do it. Next thing, this is kind of crazy. Did you ever play with Boros or beat him? Or yeah?
So I played a Kinguin Cup.
Okay.
One point.
Is this the one you and Michael Ailey won?
Yeah, me and Michael Ailey won against Simple.
I remember
when
this.
Simple was in his prime,
This is actually prime. Yeah.
This is prime Simple.
Yep.
And this is 2 retired Swedes.
I worked one of these. I don't know if I worked the one you won or not.
I'm not sure. But I remember it was me and Michael Ailey, and we were like, oh, it's Kinguin Cup. We should just ask people who played in Kinguin. So we asked Rallen, and I think we played Masinu, maybe?
Yeah.
And
the Polish one, right?
Yeah, and then we said, okay, now we have the old people. Now we need someone that can really shoot. And then we picked up BOROS for this. And damn, he was shooting hard, man.
Yeah.
This kid had an insane, like one of the most insane kind of mechanical skill I've seen in Counter-Strike. It was so easy to call. I basically said, BOROS, you go con. We're going to do this. You go
You're
con.
flashing for him.
He's
You're
like,
doing everything.
Okay. That's all he said. And he just went and killed people. And I absolutely loved it. It was so easy to be a caller in that game. Everything I said BOROS to do, he just destroyed everyone he saw.
Okay, so Algo plus BOROS when?
No. I think this is a long time ago. I was a big fan of BOROS, but obviously recent behavior is...
Bro, I do you know what? I don't even understand, man. Like, I agree with you. I heard from just not even pro players. I mean, just people playing high level FACEIT. BOROS so good. BOROS so like individually, mechanically, super skilled players, right? And he comes from a region. He's from Jordan, yeah? It's the Middle East. It's like you've got no hope. You have no hope in terms of Counter-Strike from that country. And this guy is living the dream, and he actually has the skills to back it up. He's been on all these mixed teams. Like his team roster history is crazy, right?
He was in
from
Falcons.
NASA. No, if I'm going to go from the beginning, from NASA, which is Middle Eastern team, Endpoint, Monty, Falcons, Into the Breach, and then after that, it's all terrible, right?
Yeah.
And it must be his attitude or his ego, or because when I've done interviews with him, I've spoken to him. I had a nice conversation at one major with him. I go, what was his first major? Paris major. And there was an RMR as well. I think there's a PGL RMR as well. Maybe it was Antwerp. And
yeah, it was
actually
Paris.
there was one time we were on the same floor of the hotel, and I bumped into him. I just got chatting to him for ages outside my door. And I thought, this kid's all right, actually, like pretty well spoken, yeah. Understands the game. He's got something about him. Maybe he can do well. And obviously he has the meme with Falcons changing his mouse and Sonic not being happy with it, whatever else. But like, it's so sad to see where he's got, because for people who don't understand what we're talking about, he is barred from the ACL. I don't even know what the ACL is. 2026 over discriminatory language. So Hero Esports has announced that alter ego star BOROS will not be allowed to participate in 2026. Oh, it's the Asia Champions League. So he's in Asia right now. Over the use of racially discriminatory language during the preparation time of the event. And it's a clip. So he has apologized. He's put a video up apologizing. He's tweeted. He said, my recent words were inappropriate and come across as racist. That wasn't my intention, he said. I apologize to those affected, especially my fellow Chinese friends, and I'll be more mindful about how I communicate moving forward. Now, obviously, we cannot accept any of this, right? That's for sure. But, I mean, he's someone who should know better. Because I remember hearing things like him complaining about people being racist towards him from where he's from. So he understands what it's like, you know, to be on that side of things. Oh, and the thing is, that team he's on, Alter Ego, right? It's him, Gratisfaction, Pokemon, the Pakistani kid, who people hyped up for a long time. He might be older now. He's 28. I don't know. He's just farming in that lower down tiers anyway. Gratisfaction's there, Bentet. So it's like they're not going to be a super elite team, but they could do very well within the Asia region. They could qualify for some of these things, right? There's definitely potential in there, but they are literally from all over the world. You've got a Ukrainian, a Jordanian, a Pakistani, a New Zealander, and an Indonesian. That's a mix and a half, man. That's a mix. But I don't know how you get out of this now. Surely he's done.
No, and I even saw some other tweet about it. I was trying to find it as you were talking about it, but basically it wasn't just because of him like being, you know, disrespecting in matchmaker or anything. He actually used that language in like a tournament setting to admins.
Yeah.
Which obviously is completely disgraceful. It's not okay. It's not what we want the game to be about. I mean, not in a professional sense. You're always going to have trolls and people who talk badly in matchmaking and all this kind of stuff, because it is a infuriating game when you lose and sometimes you suck.
Yeah.
But this is not the way. It's sad to see because he was such a talent, and it's just gone downhill, and it's I'm sad to see it. I thought he could be, you know, the next big thing, if I'm honest, with his capacity.
Mm-hmm. And that probably it puts a big thorn in the side for the rest of his teammates as well, considering they were trying to grind up. They actually, in the closed qualifier, they made it to the main event through not even just his performance, like Bentet was still popping off in those things. And like I said, in that region, they could potentially have done well. So maybe they need to look for a new member. We don't know what the update is of right now, but just because it's BOROS, I thought we would touch on it a little bit. From BOROS to someone we can only talk positively about is Ash, and it's finally out there. Ash parts way with GamerLegion. GamerLegion's announced that they've parts ways with Ash, bringing the 35-year-olds over 5-year stint, 5 years of the organization to an end. Obviously, he wanted to put himself out of the equation. I saw he was co-streaming and stuff as well. He's obviously, I don't know, let's look at his YouTube numbers. I think his YouTube does very well. Ash's playbook. Yeah, he's always getting like 53k views, 37k views. So he's a smart man on knowing CS. Obviously, we learned he even played CS with Mezzi. This guy's always been good with being well-spoken, always been praised very highly as a coach. I wanted to see him go to FaZe, and they got NKJ. So maybe he himself doesn't want to go anywhere just yet, but now he's free. I doubt he will stay free long if he does want to go back to coaching.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna weigh up his options and see how he's feeling, and you know, if he's ready to take the same step again.
Yeah.
But an incredible talent within coaching in Counter-Strike, and we obviously want to see him back as soon as possible. I don't know, there's plenty of like good options for him. I think people kind of just want to wait and see if when he feels good, they're ready to offer him a job, basically.
Yeah. But like, he was rumored to have many offers before when GamerLegion were going on the up and didn't take him because he wanted to stay with GamerLegion. And then now to have this, it's kind of tough. We'll have to keep an eye on where he could go in the future. But I just think if he's already co-streaming, doing all this other stuff and the content, maybe after the major he will be up. Maybe that's when we'll see him get joined on. But for now, I've not heard of anything.
Yeah.
And the next one. So this is getting wild, man. And I'm not sure what to do with BC.Game anymore, because BC.Game have taken senzu on loan. So senzu left Passion UA obviously he couldn't even hang. He wasn't able to put up with the Passion UA boys. He couldn't hang in there any longer. Or maybe they didn't want him, but I mean, he was the standout player for that team. That's for sure. And now he joins BC.Game. So you've got Simple, Electronic, Senzu, and Crazy. They still don't have an IGL by the looks of it. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to know. Like, I listened to, or I watched some of the clips that get posted from the general manager stream. He's obviously taking it very seriously. Their plan is to obviously be spoken about, especially it's beneficial for BC.Game and the people they are, right? The background of the company. But like, they bought in the Portuguese lot, which was not going to be cheap. They're now down on, where are they? 77th in the VRS rankings. They're luckily still going to Atlanta. I'm guessing because many teams said no. But they're bringing Senzu, and we still don't know who their fifth is. Like, I just want to know, because you've got Taz, you've got Simple, you've now taken Senzu. Crazy's obviously still there. They still believed in him. They want to try to keep this core together. Is this a team you can take seriously anymore? Is this a team we should focus on? Is this like, what is going on?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what to make of this. I think it's a weird move from Senzu to join this team. First of all, I don't.
Maybe he doesn't have many offers.
Well, that's weird. I mean, I feel like he should have plenty of opportunities. But yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel like this team is just. I feel like BC.Game is the kind of team that will never live up to the expectations we put on them. And that's a lot of that is because of Simple, but a lot of that is also with Simple how absolute shit they've been. If we're completely honest. They've had multiple opportunities. They bought their way to get those opportunities. They assembled this team, and it just got worse and worse from every time I saw them. The first event was probably the best event I saw of them.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, is this, gonna work? Is this gonna...
It's also like, what's the loan conditions, like, is it more... If Senzu's happy, if it's how they gel together, like, what are they looking at here as how they find the perfect pieces for them? Because Senzu as an individual player is going to be great, but is he going to be used to this style of playing? Is he going to be used to what these players want?
This environment.
Yeah, the environment, which we always have to talk about with these guys.
Yeah, I don't know really what to say. I feel like for me, yes, it's going to be interesting to see their game-ish, but I'm not expecting much. I would have rather seen Senzu kind of play it out with passion, if I'm honest.
Yeah. And he was performing well. I'm looking down his ratings, and it's big. It's like big numbers pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
You cannot knock him on it.
But this to me is just like, what? Like, what?
Yeah.
What's happening? What's going on? Why is this constellation of players being put together right now? I don't understand a thing. And like you say, they don't have an in-game leader. Who are they practicing with? What are they doing? Are they wasting time? Do they have a 5-man lineup? They must have. They have a fucking game coming up.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Thing is, they're doing like, I read Taz's tweets, and he's hopeful and he's positive about it, right? And what he wants to build the team chemistry and go forward. He's obviously trying to set the identity with it all. But as of right now, when you keep changing so much, you're not going to have an identity. I don't know. Let's see who they can get as their fifth. And obviously then they got to... Remember, every time they're bringing new players in and out as well, they start to rebuild that VRS standing with that lineup, and then they have to reset again. So, I don't know, man. It's strange. We'll have to wait and see who their fifth's going to be. Obviously, the sub they already made public for Atlanta was supposed to be No Cries, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's Skrunk. Yes, so Skrunk is IGL. We spoke about this last episode. It's 1 in the morning here.
Analyst, what?
No, Skrunk is IGL playing IGL, and then he's got to make all the pieces work together for this Atlanta event. So I guess he's just there for this tournament. And their first game is against Vitality, by the way. Yeah, I forgot about, because I even made the crazy tweet. I don't know, you probably didn't see it. I made the tweet. My tweet was, where is it?
It almost makes it even weirder.
I said, Skrunk is about to go crazy. IGL brain will be going electronic while trying to keep things simple because he knows this ride's going to have him needing a senzu bean. I fit in every player's name. That was the 27th of April. It's a lot of days have been since then. But yeah, Skrunk obviously was not on a loan situation, so he's just there for Atlanta by the looks of it. Good luck to him as well. Good luck to him. Yeah. All right, we got 2 event previews to do next, so let's move on into that. The first one being the smaller of the 2 events that are taking place. It's Atlanta. So obviously with Atlanta being an American event, a lot less teams are going from the big teams. Like literally of the top 10 teams, it's only Vitality, Na'Vi, and Foot and Astralis. Then everything else is like dripping all the way down to like 77th in the VRS for BC.Game. Then there's Passion, Sinners. So like it's a really kind of 4 teams to look at. Maybe FaZe can have some fun run here, but it's not impressive. I actually spoke to Vitality as well. And Vitality's kind of mindset here, I just want to make sure I quote this correctly because I was just checking exactly what it would be. So obviously ESL has that thing with the revenue share, right? So if you skip too many ESL events, you don't get taken part into it. So they couldn't skip this one, but also in case of the Grand Slam, if they didn't win it in Rio, then they needed to have it in Atlanta, you know? So that's why they didn't go Astana, where most of the best teams went to Astana. So a lot of the teams in Astana are just going to be happy Vitality's not there. It's going to be a much more open event, where Atlanta's kind of like the short end of the stick tournament, not that exciting. We can just look at a few teams that we've taken part in the major and seeing what they can do here. But to give the team list rundown, we've got Vitality, Na'Vi, Foot, Astralis, Legacy, Bait, FaZe, BetBoom, M80, Liquid, Pain, NRG, GamerLegion, Sinners, Passion, and BC.Game. So, obviously, we just spoke about BC.Game. They are the lowest ranked team in the tournament. Where would you, considering how many also other low teams there are, and I do rate Skrunk as being a smart man about Counter-Strike, not sure about his playing ability, but as an IGL, where would you be hoping they could go? Where's the thought process on how far could they have a run in this tournament?
They could, I think, win a lower bracket round.
No playoff chance?
No.
Okay, no playoff chance. Then you've got Passion. They're going to be playing with SDY. So SDY is coming in to replace senzu. I don't think it's going to have the same firepower output for sure. But senzu is an experienced, knowledgeable player. 2 Ukrainians on the lineup, Kvem still there with SDY now. For Passion, like this is an important event to have a run in if possible.
Yeah, and I mean they were definitely building something with senzu. I don't know what happened if BC.Game kind of came in and just swooped in on the deal, or what was up. So this kind of staggers their development a little bit and their plans for this season. Yeah, I don't really know what to think of Passions now that they don't have senzu. I still think they can be in like middle of the pack. They can beat some teams. They can make some rumbles, but I don't think they're a playoff team in this tournament.
How many teams do you get in playoff for this? Oh, it's going to be 2 straight through to semis and then 4 in quarters. So it's still a 6 team.
Yeah, 6 teams.
6 teams again, which is sad, but that's all changing. We just got to keep focusing on what's going to happen in 2027. After Passion, we got Sinners. Sinners, obviously, they made the major, right?
Oh, yes, I think so.
Let me double check before I just say completely wrong. Yeah, Sinners made the major. There we go. Sinners made the major. So Sinners, they were not even at this tournament. They replaced BetM. I guess BetM being Russian team didn't get visas. So Sinners got to come. They got themselves in order. They were able to play. That's an exciting team in this lineup who have a chance to punch above where they're at and gives them a lot of experience before going to the major.
Yeah, I'd actually put Sinners as at least a top 8 team in this tournament.
Ooh, okay.
I think
Potential of making playoffs.
I honestly, I think I could see them like beating NRG, Pain, Liquid, M80, Betboom even. I think they're around that FaZe Betboom mark, if I'm honest.
They won that Star Ladder Rankings Season 1 event as well.
Yeah, but they're definitely like a team with, you know, a lot of firepower. They play an interesting. I've seen Modo. He obviously played in that 9 team in the past. Can have incredibly high octane games where he's just like full throttle, 35 bombing. But it's a bit inconsistent. But he's a very, very exciting player to watch.
Definitely.
But, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Sinners.
Yeah, that's a team that like I'm excited to see play before we get to the major.
Yeah.
GamerLegion, they're in next. Obviously, also in the same stage 1 of the major as Sinners. They're playing Sinners in the first game. After what GamerLegion showed us, and the fact I'm guessing they're going to stay in America, right? They're not going to go home in between this. Even though Atlanta doesn't start for like another, 5-6 days, they'll still stay in America. You're not going to go home in between that, right? So keep practicing in America, go for it from there, stay adjusted. GamerLegion is a team that I will be looking now at saying, okay, you made playoffs of a very small event in terms of the amount of teams. It's just almost guaranteed to go through. You just win one. Let's see if you can do it here.
Yeah,
that should be their expectations.
I agree. I want to see some stability from GamerLegion, be able to kind of be a little bit of a gatekeeper to the playoff spots to some degree, and maybe clinch one.
Yeah, definitely potential.
But, yeah.
Oh, next one's interesting. NRG.
Oh.
Because we were
so disappointed with the Grim edition.
Yeah, we
NRG.
liked them. We liked them. We hyped up the Grim edition as well, saying what it could bring. And like they've even struggled at that Frag 20 event, which was just a local American event in Las Vegas. They finished 5th to 8th there. Oof, oof. I wouldn't put them going playoffs.
No, I think they're in a pretty rough position right now, if I'm honest.
Yeah. It's all about what they can show going forward, you know? If they can show themselves of like they've leveled up a bit, then sure, there's potential with it. But I mean, it's probably a lot to ask for them. Pain next. Oh, Pain. Pain's with no NQZ. Safe is in now. NQZ needs some time off. I'm still not sure who they're playing the major with. Was it with Safe or not? Let me check.
It's crazy. Safe is 31.
He's been around a long time, man. He's been around a long time. After the circuit excellence time.
Either way, I like Safe. I like him as an AWPer. He's a little bit more of a trying to play a more consistent AWPing style.
It seems like he'll play at the major. Yeah.
But yeah, I like Pain, but they're kind of in also a little bit of a rebuild again.
Free fall, man.
NQC was obviously a big star in this team, and but they've been doing really good in the Brazilian region with like they won Betboom Circuit X, Fergie in-house came third, so they have been leveling up as of late and could be an exciting team to kind of watch. Obviously, Safe. This is the first tournament.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see what he can do.
Liquid.
Oh my. Oh no.
What do you say about Liquid?
Oh. Rio was bad. They struggle even if they go to tier 2 events. They just about made the major. Here is the golden opportunity to farm some lower down teams based on the name value you have. but actually play up to what is expected of you. Maybe Mouz is going to be a bit more settled in the team. Elige, obviously, you can still be praising. Naf has had a better resurgence. We're still just looking at Shuhei and Ultimate. That's it every time for me, just looking directly at them.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, obviously, they should be punching way above.
Yeah.
They have some really, really strong players in that team, and I'm worried for them because if I look, sorry, my voice.
Bro, you need more water.
I need more water. I'm gonna run and get water straight
after
I finish this sentence. But Liquid for me, I'm worried because when I look at the format, am I looking at this saying Liquid will have a playoff spot? I see all the teams above. I see the form that some of these teams are in, and I'm saying no.
Because it's 16 playoff, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Liquid can squeeze in a place in playoff, and I think that's worrisome for them because I don't think anything else is acceptable in their situation either.
Yeah.
So it's a scary tournament for them.
It is very scary to them. They need to do well, but there's just so many other teams I might put above them right now. All right, you grab water and I'll start dealing onto my M80. See how fast you can be. So M80 next, I would put above Team Liquid. He didn't leave his headset on, so he can't hear me. This guy. See, look, when I walk away, I keep my headset on. So I can hear what he's talking about and I know what he's talking about. So this will be my ultimate time to troll him. Devilwalk is a moron. He has a wireless headset, but he takes it off. It's not very smart. He did come back very quickly. But as you all know, Devilwalk is an idiot. Because you have a wireless headset. It says you're muted on our... Yeah, there you go. You're not muted. You have a wireless headset. You could hear me
when I'm talking about it. Change everything.
Terrible. We need to connect you up properly. So I was going to say, M80, I put their chances way above Liquid of making playoffs. I actually have them as a team that could make playoffs. They could do some damage. People might look at it and think, oh, but they still only came 58 for that frag event. But they're competitive at some of these tier 2 LAN tournaments in Europe and stuff like that. So I'm actually, I'll be quite positive around the whole team of...
I love watching M80. I think they're a great team to watch. And I think that they thrive in scenarios where people underestimate them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When I watch them play, you know, which is a lot. But when I watch them play and have played, especially at events like this, they love every second of it. Every single second. Doesn't matter if they're playing a Bet Boom. Doesn't matter if they're playing a Navi. They want to be there and they want to show themselves and show up in the game. And they will play all out. If it breaks, it breaks. But they at least try. Yeah. And they at least give it their all. And that's why I love watching them.
Yeah. That's very fair. Very fair. I think this is a team that can certainly make the run here. I think they can certainly do it. That's a team to look out for, taking one of those spots away. Next is Bet Boom, but Flamus is replacing Dilladez. Now, it's not that weird because Bet Boom have already played some tournaments with him. Like I think
it's the whole year almost.
He replaced him for the other ranked event episode 1 from Star Ladder. Did he do it at the Roman Cup that they won? Flamus was playing there, was top performer in the final. Yes, so Flamus has played a lot, so he knows what he's doing in this team. He knows what he's doing with these players. This is a team
played since March.
There you go. So this is a team that has a great chance of going far.
Yeah.
Bet Boom is a grinding team. I still credit Boomich as being a great in-game leader. Can handle a lot of tough situations. It's just sometimes they seem to get blown out of some games where I go, but that's normally when they come to the bigger events, you know, when they've qualified through. So I feel like here, this is where they can prove themselves. Like they should be looking 100% at playoffs here.
They have a chance at playoff, definitely.
It's not going to be easy.
They can set their sights to it and they can have their expectations there because I think the thing with Bet Boom you can look at is that they've been consistent in the tier that they've played in. They've been very, very consistently gathering wins. They played consistently against similar ranked teams. So I think they can only really punch upwards in this tournament. And, a weakened phase or a little bit undisciplined or unstructured at the moment phase, as they are in this kind of development form, could be, a target. I think Bait could be a target they could swing against. I think Astralis could be a team. When Astralis has a bad day, they could pick up a win. I think it's going to be harder against a team like Vitality, Na'Vi, and Foot. I think those, I'm pretty much
they're
putting
stable
them straight into playoffs, and it's going to be a fight for those last 3 spots.
Yeah, definitely. FaZe, I think we spoke enough about them on the podcast already, but they're playing with Nature again. This is a team that we'll be looking at riding that high, building off the momentum they had, playing off individual strength. Obviously, they're not going to have too much more time to practice. It's what we just mentioned. It's like 6 days until the tournament begins. There's a media day in there, and then obviously the travel day after this. But there's still potential for this team. Like playoffs again, look at that. How you can roll it at a deeper tournament. Also, if they play to the level we saw at Blast, then this tournament should be one of those ones where they should be saying to themselves, we can lock in this spot. Like, I expect Nature to play even better against this level of opposition. This is where he was farming before.
I'm looking at the bracket, and it's like, if you see opening Group A.
Yeah, it's good potential.
Very, very, very hard group.
They can beat Pain. Then they play Foot. They lose to Foot.
Yeah.
By the way, to say this, because we'll get onto Foot very soon. I confirmed it. Lounx is back.
He's back for this?
Yeah, he's back for this.
Nice.
Lounx is back for this, so that's really positive for them. Do you think FaZe can make playoffs though in that group?
If it's very difficult for them.
Vitality.
The thing is, I could see them only really getting the lower final.
Yep.
Realistically, but maybe they can surprise a Foot. Maybe. But
I think Foot's too disciplined to be surprised by that.
Yeah, I think Vitality and Foot are probably guaranteed in this upper final. And the lower final could maybe be
up in the air.
Bet Boom. Something
or
along
Bait.
those lines.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go next on to Bait, as I just mentioned them as well. Bait are in a situation where this is a great event for them ahead of the major. Obviously, Rio was pretty bad. Wasn't pretty.
Pretty.
But Sizzy is warming up, and it's just about understanding how this team wants to play. And obviously, I've kept saying it for a long time, but I still believe in the Sizzy guy. I still think he can do well. And farming this lower tier opponents, I expect him to dominate. And he's like, what's their opening game? They're going up against Bet Boom. That's a good game. That's a good game. Have they got any history playing against each other in some lower CCT finals?
Should have played.
Bait beat him last year, a year ago. So they've not played in the last year. Obviously, that was with Hedrick playing back then as well.
But it's also better Bet Boom and a better Bait compared to, a year ago.
They've both won some tier 2 LAN tournaments. So this is a kind of spicy opening match for these guys.
Spicy opening.
Yeah, actually, that's the one I want to watch. That's a game. That's the first opening game that's got me interested.
You're not watching Vitality BC.Game?
You watch it for obvious reasons, but I mean, you're not going to pay too much attention to it, are you?
No.
Like you're going to have it on. You're going to know the result before it happens, and maybe you get some simple highlights. you get some nice simple highlight would be great. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, so Bait, maybe not a potential for playoffs, but a potential if they can get that first win over Bet Boom, obviously goes up quite a lot.
Yeah.
Legacy next. Well, they've had a win in South America. They won the Rush B Summit Season 3. They did badly at Rio. So if everything goes as it is, right, do well in their own scene, fail at Bucharest, fail at Rio, do well in their own scene. So let's see. Now they've got a point to prove. And Atlanta's not difficult. For the players they have and where we were so good on them last year, like, come on, this. Not saying a playoff guaranteed, but they should be gunning for playoffs again.
But they were kind of the foot of last year.
Yeah, not as exciting.
Not as exciting, but still incredibly exciting to watch.
Exciting moments in the game, but they were never as decisive as Foot, you know? Foot is a very decisive team where Legacy was always up in the air of what was going to happen, whether it was Lux leading or not.
Yeah. It is, I think they got a pretty good bracket, to be honest.
Yeah.
You got M80 to start with, Liquid Astralis after. I can't fucking speak.
Bro, you're done. You're drinking more water, but you are done. You're cooked. We've not even gone that long. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark. Lucky it's not a completely crazy long podcast today. Lucky we don't have a guest.
I'll try.
Survive. Yeah, Legacy's mindset should be 100% going to playoffs, but it's not going to be easy. And this will tell us a lot about them. And where they're at.
Yeah.
Because we're still trying to learn about how it is with art. Because at the beginning we were so positive about it, but it's not shown up in the same way. So from Legacy to our last 4 teams, we're going to go with Astralis. Is this for you a playoff guaranteed team? Because I think the first 3 teams, Vitality, Na'Vi, and Foot's like guaranteed, but Astralis, I'm not saying it's guaranteed at all.
I don't think so. I think they've shown that they can be, but it's been too, like I said earlier, they flip-flop. They're not progressing in a way that's consistent. Does that make sense? Like they're not consistently showing up in performances, and that 100%. Makes me worry for a bracket where you have a lot of teams hungry to kind of get a spot, hungry to play good on a day, that might not be consistent themselves.
Yeah.
But they end up in a matchup where they have a bad start, Astralis, and their executes aren't working, the calls aren't working, their players aren't on point. I'd be scared going up against a, starved Liquid, a Legacy who needs to prove themselves in the international scene again after, kind of failing the expectations to some degree. And M80 who's been, gone for a long time. You have Sinners, GamerLegion in the group, who pretty much all teams in this group, I could see beating Astralis on the day. And that's a very scary prospect.
I will say that like Liquid should be a comfortable team for them. My eyes are on Ryu just because he had a bad tournament in Fort Worth, and we were so hyped about his individual skill and dominance he showed at the beginning of joining Astralis. And JL saying like how hard this guy works, how much he grinds. It's like maybe he's overthinking things now. So I'm really looking at him because he's going to go up against the Liege early on, Like that's a mechanically gifted and sharp player. Like let's see if you can shut him down, because if he gets hot hands and gets going, that's a problem. Same for Malbs even. So yeah, Ryu's going to have to put himself to the test straight away up against that Liquid. All right, next is Foot. I feel like now they've got Lounge back. This is like, I'm sure they're
upper final Vitality Foot.
Flying. 100%. I'm sure they flew him out early, by the way, so he's adjusted. He's good. His health's good now if he's coming back. And this is an event where like they should be looking at a grand final finish, maybe a top 3, top 4 finish. There was a 3rd place decider here, so yeah, I'm just obviously all positive about Foot.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see Vitality Foot again, but let's see if your prediction were correct from the start.
Yeah. We'll actually see the real match. Second is Na'Vi. Probably make a grand final again unless they get upset along the way. Should be a very comfortable game for them, as long as they don't take any opponents lightly until they get to Vitality,
They've shown consistency, and I have no doubts in their ability to at least win their Group B.
Yep. And then last but not least, Vitality. Obviously, they should be the overall winners for the event on paper, how this all works. But it comes into, this is such a lesser of an event of team quality. How did they handle that? Because now they're going to, I heard it in all the interviews, they're going to chill for a few more days. Messi and Apex are going to New York for a bit of a chill. Flamesy's going walking through some mountains somewhere, They're not going to be playing CS again, bro. They're going to be chilling. They'll come back and play a few days. They deserve the break. I'm not doubting that at all. But they are chilling so hard going into this event that they're going to be bringing their B or C game for those opening group stage games. They're not going to get upset by a BC game. I'll say it here now. But I do think that I would say it's going to be how quickly can they learn to adjust to such lower down teams when you meet them. Because it's not the same as playing teams you regularly see in the top 16.
Well, I mean, for Vitality, I'm not worried. Even if they take these kinds of breaks, not worried. It's not the skill of Vitality players that is that scary. It's how well they interconnect and how they are as a team. How fast they respond to situations, how they adjust, how well they play, 3v3 situations or XVX. That doesn't disappear. I think that kind of problem solving still is in them no matter what. The only thing you might be able to say is they're not going to be as sharp individually. But I'm sure there's going to be some rust, but at the end of the day, it's Vitality. It's the best team in Counter-Strike history. I don't have any doubts of them. Even if they would lose a game, they'll make playoff. They'll grind their way into a grand final, and they'll probably win it.
Most likely. If everything is to go as it's supposed to go, then probably. Let's go down our predictions because we do have the opening matchups for Atlanta. So first game is Vitality BC.Game. Vitality, right?
We went with Vitality.
Bait, bet, boom. I went for bait. I believe in the Sizzy magic. You went...
Bet boom.
Okay. Pain FaZe. I think we both chose FaZe.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised what I saw from FaZe, and I think they can kind of snowball with this positive feeling into this event.
NRG foot. Double foot.
Double
all the
foot.
feet. All the feet.
We're feet people.
3 feet picks at foot events. For the future. There you go. Navi Passion. Navi.
Yep.
Now, I'm surprised this one. I thought you might have gone for Sinners in the GamerLegion Sinners, but you went GamerLegion. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a toss-up for me.
Yeah. I think it's all about how much we saw from GamerLegion. Like, I picked GamerLegion as well, but how much we saw from GamerLegion during Fort Worth, how that can carry through, and if it's possible. Oh, Legacy M80. I went M80.
I went Legacy.
You think Legacy's clash of styles was their way of doing it?
I'm just in love with art being Legacy.
Okay.
I just want to see it work out.
Liquid Astralis.
I put Astralis.
I put Astralis as well. An overall winner to win the whole tournament? Oh, Foots? Navi? No. It's Vitality.
Vitality for both.
Double Vitality. Should we predict who will go through, though, on the playoffs? Yeah?
Let me actually just put up the tournament page again.
Cool.
And I will say Vitality and Foot through the upper final.
Yep.
Foot loses, comes quarter. And then we have a bet boom. I think it's going to be between FaZe and Bet Boom in the lower finals. And I will say FaZe.
Okay. I'm going to do exactly the same as you. I can't even be interesting. Vitality, semis, Foot, FaZe, quarters. So I'll do Group B first. I think Navi go through to the semis. I think Astralis will join them there and end up in the quarters. But I feel like we will get a M80 joining and getting a little deep run and having the other quarter spot from that lower final.
Really?
Yeah.
You're big on M80.
I don't know. I just feel like they're a team, especially in America, that could do well. And we also need one American representation for the Atlanta event, surely.
Is this just like follows maxing?
Yes, the Americans, of course.
Yes, you need the Americans. I mean, I'm a big fan of M80, but it's been a long time since I saw them play. I don't really know what to expect.
But I predict them to beat Legacy anyway, right? So I expect them to do that. Then they lose to Astralis and they go through the lower semis and the lower final.
I'll say Navi, Astralis in the upper.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to be GamerLegion or Sinners on lower.
Okay.
They might even meet each other there because there's swap sides of the bracket because of how lower works. I'll say a Sinners GamerLegion lower final where GamerLegion takes it.
Oh, okay. Believe in another GamerLegion run, so almost similar to what we saw in Fort Worth. Bit of recency bias in there as well.
Yes, 100%.
But that is the end of our IEM Atlanta preview. It actually, when we've done this preview, I said it's the lesser of two events, which it is. There's lesser teams here. But it is exciting to see some of these teams that will be at the major competing in an event like this at least. So that can make it more fun to give us a test. And there's plenty of games with it as well. So let's see. I hope there'll be a lot of people in the arena as well for Atlanta to obviously make up for what we saw in Fort Worth and for the American audience as well. And last but certainly not least, it is time for the preview of PGL Astana. We're going back to lovely Astana, Kazakhstan. The event last time was phenomenal. I got to stand on stage in that awesome Chopin, the outfit that I was rocking and wearing.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah, Les. Well, of course I still have it. I never get rid of any of that stuff. I've got all of these different outfits you've seen me in. I still have. I'm always prepared for us to come back.
How many extra rooms do you have in your house with just Banks's outfits?
I have more clothes than my wife has. I have more space for wardrobes than my wife has. That's for sure. Bro, think how big my suits are. Plus then these other outfits and things. You know, like it's. And we've now got the baby. So when we go back to Ukraine, like, I'm going to have to give up some space somewhere because there's definitely 2 wardrobes in the baby's room that are full of my clothes right now.
You might have to move your streaming like setup like
to the side of clothes
and just cover the back with just your clothes.
No, I'm cooking. I got enough space in mine. You've seen the attic, right? I'm shooting from. I'm just use one side of it to put it all in. So, yeah, there's a lot to do with it, but I have a lot. I'll say this. Obviously, it's my first event going to be back, so all that hype that you saw was missing on stages from recent Counter-Strike events. I am bringing it back with all this energy, with all this dad buff energy all the way because I've been watching events, right, and I've been thinking, damn, I wish I was there. Like you have that, you're missing out. And obviously I love the stage so much and bringing all the energy and hype. Trust me, this has now been building up, and I'm just going to explode when it comes to Astana because I know how good that crowd was last time. Also, the fact with this crowd is like, last time around, it was like we had me and the guy speaking Russian and, doing it because obviously, even though you have the Kazakh language, they had Russian in the arena because they speak Russian as well, being I know you call it an ex-Russian country. Let's make sure I don't get this right. Yeah.
Soviet?
They were part of USSR, right? Yes, it was. Unlucky for them. So sad times for Kazakhstan, but now they're free at least. This time it's all English, and I know some people who come to a lot of events like they're at Clones and Katowice's. They've already messaged me. They're coming from Europe to Astana because of how good it was and also how good the team list is. On top of that, it's a $1.6 million prize pool. That's way beyond what normally PGL and other stuff's doing. So Astana's cooking, man. And the team list we've got is actually nuts. And with no Vitality there, this really opens up a lot of it because obviously PGL have the best format. They now have the best teams outside of Vitality and Na'Vi skipping it. But let me give you the rundown. Furia, Spirit, Aurora, Falcons of Karrigan, Mongols, Parivision, Mouz, G2. Look at that top 8 already. And remember, 8 teams go to playoffs. 9Z, Monty, Heroic, Gentlemates, Fisher College. We'll get onto that later on. K27, which used to be Kazakhstani team. Then there's not a single Kazakhstani player on there. That's just made me sad. Magic, and then the Huns. This is epic. Some of the lower down teams, they came through to qualify, so obviously they did grind their way for it.
Yeah.
Not the best teams, I'll say, but there's some very exciting ones in here. Obviously, it's got a third place decider. It's got an 8 teams playoff. Everyone's starting from the quarters, working their way through. As of when we're doing this episode, the matchups have not been given to us just yet. PGL always give the matchups very later on. So we'll quickly run down some of the teams we have here. We'll do this a little bit faster. Like the Huns, for example. It's like the other Mongolian side. I last saw them at the Budapest Major. Obviously, they've been grinding through a lot of these low...
Controllers is back.
Yes, Controllers is back. We get to see good old Controllers again. Me and Nine, I spoke to him so much during the Budapest Major. We even talking on Instagram a bit now. I love this guy. He's like a player that like he believes in his team, believes in his own ability, and really wants to go fast. So like this is a team I'm going to have a soft spot on for the whole event. Obviously, they qualified to here throughout the closed qualifier. They went through PGL Astana East Asia closed qualifier, PGL Astana Asia closed qualifier. They just played one match and then that was it. I don't know how this works. Yeah, there was 3 teams. So Ground Zero played another team first, Depot, and then they beat Depot. Depot was 2 Kazakhstani players and 3 Uzbekistan players.
But this might just be what HLTV
is covering. Yeah.
It's like the quarterfinals of the open qualifiers or whatever.
I'll say this. Huns may be like the lowest ranked place team here, but I don't think they'll be going out in last place. I believe in 9. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't expect you to have much, but that's it. That's it.
Sure, you go for it, man.
Next, you got no comments on the Huns, right? You know nothing.
I mean, I'm excited to see them. I think they
it's
always...
Mazzilio's older brother, man.
Yeah, you have Bartek, you have Score, you have 9, you're obviously watching the IHC lineup.
Yep.
It's an interesting team. I think they always seem to have like a map where they look like they can be a par with some of the big teams or big names, but they always seem to fall flat a little bit.
Yep.
So I think this is kind of a good proving ground for them. It's a Swiss format, so they'll at least have, 3 best of 3s, because they're not doing best of 1s, right?
No, of course, there's no best of 1s in PGL.
No.
Never.
So that's great. It's great experience for some of these teams, especially in the lower down pool where they can grind, they can face some good opposition, and they get a lot of LAN experience going here. So,
yep.
Obviously harder to kind of upset. I don't expect the Huns to be making playoff or anything like that. Yes, they can make it past last place like you expect. But I feel like you've been hyping them up a little bit more than just last.
Wait, we got Controllers, 9, and Score. Come on, man. There's a world where some magic's going to happen here. I will say something's confusing me. I'm going to have to check out when I get to the event. Before 9 was the in-game leader. Now it says Captain Controllers. Why would Controllers go and become the in-game leader? I'm not sure.
Stolen all the Mongols' tactics, and he's just like, you don't know what I know.
He's like, I went to a quarterfinals of a major.
What have you done?
Yeah. No, the Controllers is not that guy. He would never do that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to understand how that's all working. So next team, Magic. They qualified through Europe closed qualifier. Now this is what's crazy, right? The Europe closed qualifier was mainly Russian teams. I Will, 100 Thieves, and then Magic. Magic isn't actually a Russian team, but it is a Belarusian, a Ukrainian, a Russian, a Kazakhstani, and a Russian. So it kind of is almost, I don't know how that counts as Europe, boys. You got one Ukrainian.
Russian teams win all the open qualifiers, which has been a tradition since the dawn of time.
But where was the rest of the teams who came through this qualifier? Like who could, how are other European teams not competing in this qualifier to do well? Like, the amount of teams in these qualifiers, I'm looking at them, the team names are terrible. Like, what the hell is this? Like, Inner Circle Academy was in one, not even the main Inner Circle roster. So this is, Or Devices team didn't do well at that point. This is all the way back in March as well. So yeah, I'm going to say Magic could be one of those teams. Like, it's got AW. He was on Parivision before, right? Am I right? Was it AW? Yeah, he was. What's up? You lost where we are?
Yeah, AW.
Yeah. AW was on Parivision before.
Yep.
Up until December 2025, until this year, and they started winning. But yeah, the Magic team, probably a 0-3 contender. Just going to throw it out there.
Such a 90s logo and jersey.
Like a basketball jersey, right?
Yeah, like...
Yeah. I saw that.
Very, very 90s.
Bro, and this is K23, K20, oh, it's K20, they're called K27. K23 is the Kazakhstani team. That's why I was getting confused. Yeah, K23 is the Kazakhstani organization. Okay, these guys just stole the name then. I don't know where the hell this came from. But they've got good old Balbana. He's had a good amount of teams under him as a coach. Mate, I'll look back at his teams. Yeah, Amcal, he was there at Parivision a long time ago.
Yep. He's
been around. So, do you know what's crazy? This K27 team is Fame, and then there's the X5G7V, which is like the Steam ID guy. Do you remember him? We used to call him Steam ID.
Steam ID, yeah.
Yep. Zedo. Oh, bro, this team is completely out of left field. I don't care if Fame is in-game leader or not. He is doing the interview with me, and we're going to find out how he ended up on this bad position of his career. Yeah, but this is rough, man.
Well, I mean, there's still 37 in the VRS. It's not that bad.
Okay, but what farm? Have they played some Russian lands? No.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I guess. I don't know.
I'm looking at the results.
Cis Land Season 4. That's how I pronounce the I don't know how to say that. It's MPK, BK, CIS.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, but fourth place. It's not going to jump me up that high. Yeah, okay, this bottom part of this is why I'm saying the Huns aren't finishing last, man. They're beating Magic or K27, whoever they may get. That's no problem. The next one we can come on to, though, we're skipping past these. This is like...
Yeah.
So... I feel weird about Astana now because this top is so stacked, but this bit is like, how did you get here? Like, how was there not other... So the K27, by the way, is a replacement team for who? Who are they a replacement team for? It says they're a replacement team, but who are they replacing?
I don't
they
know.
Came second. This makes no sense. Well, I'm gonna have some undercover work to do.
Didn't show.
Yeah. Either way, I'll just say that it's good we do have qualifiers for this, but European teams, you need to get to work and qualify for this. Like, this is a $1.6 million event. Why would you not be trying to qualify? Why have you allowed this to happen? Why have you allowed this lower down teams to get this far? Oh my God. It's kind of rough, man. I might be being overly harsh.
Either way,
yeah.
We have Fisher College, which has Milan, Thor, Alex, Creepo, and Korn.
So our producer, he was saying like, oh, Fisher College is like this team with like college people that come through, and they like, he was explaining it to us. And me and you both had like some thoughts on this, right? Because I don't know about anyone else in the industry, but both of us had a message. My first message was October 24th, 2023 from I'm not even going to give him too much promotion, but it's a Twitter account called Esportian, Esports Scholarships. Now, bearing in mind, 2023, I was 33 when they sent this message. And they said, hello, Banks Esports. We are Esportian, a company dedicated to managing esports scholarships for studying in the United States. We are currently recruiting Valorant players to join major US universities and compete in college esports leagues. Based on our assessment, your profile appears to align with the requirements for fall 2024. We would like to inquire if you are interested in receiving more information for us. These dumb motherfuckers. First of all,
message?
Yeah, please just copy and paste. It's exactly the same, surely.
Hey, Devilwalk. I'm Mauricio from Esportian. I wanted to reach out because we've been really impressed by your skills in CS. Your gameplay stands out, and we'd be thrilled to consider you for our scholarship program. We're dedicated to supporting outstanding players like you. in combining competitive esports with a university education. We believe your profile has tremendous potential, both in-game and academically. If you're interested, I'd be happy to connect you and walk you through the exciting opportunities we can offer.
Mate, they must be getting paid.
Answered, I am unsure what this really means.
You're too nice. I cannot tell you what I responded. I cannot leak what I responded. It's not cancelable, but it's very bad how I responded. Like, I was not on a good mood when they sent me this.
They said Valorant for you.
Yeah, exactly why. You can imagine what my response is. Yeah. So, these messages continue, by the way. Hello again. I'm following up to know if you're interested in combining your studies, bachelor or master degrees, while working in a North American esports programs, USA and Canada. I'm wondering if these dumb motherfuckers get paid money for this, right? To just bring people in and to make stuff happen. By the way, for everyone watching and just laughing along with this right now, this will all make sense to you in a bit because we're going to tie this into the next team. But these messages continue, by the way. Yeah. James, I appreciate your response. Your profile would not match with this opportunity as you described, because I obviously responded with what my age was as well. Then, less than 6 months later, hello there, friend. Nice to meet you. I'm Alejandro, active in collegiate esports and partnerships manager at, by the way, so he can't even spell. Like, this is great. He's on to a bad start. I didn't even flag this at the time. I'd really like to explore how we can collaborate and learn from each other. Would you be free for a bit? And I obviously didn't respond. Then we go to 2025. So we've skipped ahead now. Hi, James. I hope you're doing well. My name is Attila and I'm a recruiter. By the way, the only Attila I know is Attila the Hun.
Yeah.
I'm a recruiter for Esportian. I noticed you were previously in talks with my colleagues about exploring opportunities in gaming and academics. I was not. There was no conversation I had with you idiots. As we continue recruitment for 2025, I was curious to hear how those conversations were and if there's anything I can do to further assist you. It's like, did you not read the DMs? The DMs show, like, how can you not see that I already been through all this with you morons? Yeah. And then I literally even responded on this one. I'm laughing faces. I'm sorry, but who is running this account? Do you guys just copy and paste message? I've even replied to you 2 years ago. You should have known better than this. Like, who are you messaging? What is this? Are you an AI bot? Like, I literally just... Then we got another one, Devilwalk. Hi, James. We've been looking through Counter-Strike profiles today for our 2027 scholarships. So they're still trying to get me now, Devilwalk. This is 2026.
One I got after as well.
So you got the same. Most players, with your dedication to the game... with your dedication to the game, don't realize that US universities are actually scouting for the exact kind of competitive experience right now. We've helped over 200 players turn their grind into 55% to 100% scholarships. I could pay for my fucking education myself. You fuck. Out of curiosity, have you ever looked into what your Counter-Strike stats would qualify you in the US? Like, what are we doing? Like, first of all, for any of you people out there, if you get a message like this is a scam. Don't follow this. This is nothing that you should be doing. This sounds horrendous. Whatever college program they're trying to put you in, this is not great.
Also, what's your Counter-Strike stats in what?
Yeah, by the way, what stats are they looking at? Because first of all, this is where they're lying, because they said about you, right? Like, you don't post your clips. You're not posting anything on your play. Other than that, remember that funny clip you had with me where you got like that 1v4 or 1v5? No, but
it's like, okay, so I think I got a... Let's see here. I just need to find them again. Where the fuck did I
can't,
put them
man.
Here?
I can't.
So the first message I got was October 10th, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I barely played CS during that period, so it's a very confusing message to receive.
They're looking back at 2013 demos of yours.
And then the last one was in February.
This year, yeah, the same one I got, yeah.
Well, I got another one, but this one was, hey, Devilwalk, Zoe from Esportian. I noticed Mauricio messaged you a few months back. We're starting our final push for 2027 Counter-Strike scholarships.
Yeah.
I didn't want your profile to get lost in the shuffle from last year. Are you still open to chatting about the US college opportunity?
Wait, I don't know. Someone again, Americans, you're gonna have to help us out this episode. Is your country that down bad that you're trying to import European old men to come and compete in your college programs? Because, bro, I looked on their Twitter and it says we get asked a bit too often, so what do you actually do? We do the whole package. Want to start your path to pro? We got you. Want to get a degree and pay for it by gaming? We got you. Want to secure your future in esports? You guessed it. We got you. Check our bio. What can Esportian provide for you? Guaranteed university placement. No one can guarantee that, by the way. These guys are just lying. Scholarships access, both academic and esports-based financial support. Collegiate esports integration. Compete for your team's school while earning your degree. Dedicated academic support from application through to enrollment. Visa support. Guidance for international students. I'm just going to say, this must be a scam. These guys sound like scammers. They're probably getting paid for every person they put in there. But, like, don't do this. There's no good can come from this at all. Nothing. No good can come from this. This is horrendous. I've never seen anything so bad. This can't be real. This has to be someone who's, like, getting paid something for referrals. You know, like referral free. You get 5% for every referral.
Very confusing. I haven't really... But we should probably move on. Otherwise, this episode...
So, the reason we're linking that into it, we do actually have a team. I don't know if they're from here. I'm going to actually message Alex. We know him. And say, did you get picked up from this? So, Fisher College is at Astana. They qualified through the North American Closed Qualifier. So, yeah, make of that as you will. The teams that were competing there is Lag, Farmville, Bossa, like M80 and the likes of that were not there anyway because they're going to Atlanta. So, they cleaned up this spot. They're going with Nilan as the stand-in, for Alex, Creepow, and Korn. Just telling you, on the main Fisher College team, there is one American called Korn. Then it's Crepo, Belgium, Refuser, Netherlands, Alex, who we know from Sweden, and 4 from Iceland. Alex is 24, so he could still be in uni. 4 is 25. I guess depending on what he's studying, he could probably still be there. The rest of them are pretty young anyway, so that's fine. Like they're making it. But I'm excited to see Alex again because you even coached him.
Yeah, in Gamers.
Gamers, our reality TV show. I'm going to have to ask him, how did you go from reality TV show to this? Did you come through Esportian? Did he come through Esportian? We need to figure this out. He had some pretty impressive interviews, he said, for Dust2.us when he was at a recent LAN. What LAN did Fisher College compete in? I'll make sure I get this right. Frag one. And he was saying, like, he doesn't think the difference between them and other teams is going to be like that high. I think for the lower level teams, for sure. But I don't know. You're probably not going to stand up too strong against the likes of like the 9Zs, Monties, Heroics, Genomates. And then everyone else above that is just going to absolutely obliterate you.
If I remember correctly, Alex had a stutter.
Why are you just outing him?
Well, okay, then maybe that was wrong. But I remember he was incredible with it.
Okay, then you should have started with that, you know, because the beginning bit sounded really bad, and now...
Okay, I will just say, he used to call and communicate incredibly well in Counter-Strike. And I was always super impressed with him because of him having a stutter, dealing with that, and still being able to be so well communicative as he was.
Yeah.
So he's always kind of had like a special kind of, you know, I remember him so vibrantly because of all of this. So I'm really excited to see what he kind of developed into as a player. Maybe I started that sentence off wrong, but it comes from a good place.
The way you kind of put it all together was terrible. The end part is a much nicer way of doing it. You will live and learn on this. You are still Swedish, so it's fine. You get away with these things. What you actually said is really complimentary. And like, obviously, when you do have these things that can hinder you, especially in a game like Counter-Strike, you can overcome it. That on its own is impressive.
Yeah.
But I did get a nice message from Alex, and he said he was looking forward to seeing me again. I said, bloody hell, it's been so long. So yeah, Nilan's going to be their 5th. Obviously, Nilan is a local Kazakhstani representative as well, so I'm not going to say they're going to have much hope of getting through to the arenas, but I mean, he's going to get some love and support anyway from just being from Kazakhstan. So after that, we start going to more of like the bigger teams. We literally jump up from here, by the way, from We were down at 97th in the VRS, and now we're jumping to 38, and it only gets higher from here. So that's when we started talking about like the big teams coming in. Gentlemates, this is something where they've been invited, they got accepted, they've been falling down on the VRS. They struggled massively at Rio, but this is a chance for them to show us a bit more of what they can do. And also, like, they don't have a coach right now. I don't know who they're coming to this event with as a coach. Maybe they'll try someone out here, so we'll get to learn that. But we were, before the major, we actually had some hope for them before Budapest major. And then now I think my expectations slowed down a lot, but they are still, Martinez, super exciting. Like, Martinez would be the person I would have said, if Sampayas kept trailing, you'd replace Sampayas with Martinez, do a swap. But no, this is great.
I think he definitely, out of all the players in Gentlemates, I think Martinez is the one that has the potential to play in Tier 1 Counter-Strike. He's flashy, he's good, he has X-Factor, he's good with rifles and AWPing. But it's as you say, Gentlemates have been kind of a rocky trend. They looked great before that Budapest major.
Yep.
I think they were up at rank, let me see here actually. They were around, where are they actually? Where am I trying to look here? Here. They were around the 20 mark in VRS, and then kind of had a little bit of a downtrend, uptrend after that, and then massively downtrend again. Now in 2026, dropping to 35, where they've been kind of hovering around the top 20 mark. So for them, this is a huge opportunity, huge tournament to kind of turn this ship around and prove to, you know, everyone at home, everyone watching, their fans and ourselves, that they have what it takes. They're not just gonna be good for, you know, a month and then drop off again. They have what it takes to beat some of these, you know, Heroics, Monty, 9Cs.
By the way, I just saw it. K27's attending PGL Astana because Foot withdrew. I wish it was another team from the... so they came... Because it was a qualifier, they replaced... K27 came second. So sadly, they wouldn't normally be here. But remember, Foot double-dipped in both events. And then because they got their visas for America, they went to... They made the wrong decision. They should have gone to Astana. It's better teams. They're better for the VRS. But they can obviously do well in terms of prize money and stuff from Atlanta. But also... I wish they just invited another team from higher up on the VRS rankings. That would have been better. I don't know how it fully works, to be honest. You know, the next team we get to come on to? Heroic. Bro, we're in Kazakhstan and Alcaren's still not here. So we just know he's done for, right? That's it. He's never coming back to this team.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like this, it says right now he's on the bench. So he has been benched. I don't know when it happened. But he's been benched.
Is that 100%?
Well, it says on HLTV, Alcaren benched. And he's going to stand in for Cyberchoke at Nodwin Clutch S7.
Well, if he's not returning to the lineup this event, I don't know. It's probably, like you say, it's probably on there.
Because they got the major, right? So why would you can't play them at the major? So I'm pulling up an interview here. This interview was April the 4th, yeah? And it says, we're still waiting for Alcaren's situation overall, and until there's news about that, we'll keep playing with Youngster, even though we're playing in Astana. From a VRS perspective, it doesn't make so much sense only having him for X amount of games, you know? So we'll hope to have him come back in full force before we can start using him. Bro, he's never coming back. If you can't fix his visa issues for this long, it's not happening. You've tanked so many VRS points. You've actually still managed to stay within the top 20 is impressive. I will give you that. And you're now going to the major with Youngster. Just keep Youngster because you're also hindering him.
But Youngster isn't an AWPer.
But if they now do him dirty, yeah, and after the major, they're just like, cut him and bring Alcaren back, I'm just going to flip.
I mean, I think Heroic should cut Youngster and get a real AWPer.
Oh, that's fine. No problem with that. But don't keep dangling the when an Alcaraz comes back thing.
I think
because it's too long now. This has been a whole season. This has been 6 months. Every event I've been at, the same questions, same shit. Heroic, such a joke. Heroic. Like, by the way, the players, the coach, you're not a joke. No problem against you guys. But the management and the visa issues that you had with other players into this, it's just a joke. This is like unacceptable.
And it's so sad because I really wanted this heroic with Chrism.
Yeah, we liked Chrism. We still like Chrism, but I mean, like, give him the chance to do well. Oh, man.
To be plagued with these issues and not really know what you're going to do next tournament, next tournament.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. But they're still trotting along. Like, they win some of these tier 2 events. Yeah. They're second place at CCT Global Finals, beating Big and Monty, then losing to Monty in the finals. 4th at the ranked Star Ladder event. So they've just been trying to grind through events and points. They've been playing a hell of a lot of CS. Next one, by the way, I'm not just because there's 2 Brits on this team, because I don't really know Azuru. I only know Gizmi. I'll get to meet Azuru more in person at this event. I'm more of a Gizmi fan. But Gizmi and BMAS, these are my guys. I've known BMAS for so long now as well. He even hosts me every now and again on stream. They won CCT Global Finals. They had a good run at that event. Second place at Draculan. This is a team that is exciting. This is a team that's 18th on the VRS rankings right now. This is a team that could upset a G2, a Parivision, a Mongols, maybe even an Aurora or a Mouz on any given day. This is a dark horse team for this event.
Whatever.
Yeah, bro, I just didn't even think about that. Yeah, a Furia could definitely have a struggle against them.
Yeah.
Oh, this gets interesting. This gets very interesting.
I think
now.
they could be. I think they're definitely up there in playoff contention.
Yeah. It's a big event for them. Really
but
big
I'm
event.
also excited about them. I think they've done so well every time they've shown themselves. They've showed consistency in the tier 2 scene. I think they kind of were a little bit disappointing in EPL. They picked up a map against Na'Vi, almost beat them in the last map, lost to Legacy, lost to FaZe. All close games, but I hope they've learned something from that and kind of bring that into this. And I think they'll be more ready for this level now.
Yeah, definitely. I think like they're getting so much experience at these different events that this is a team I'm hyped on to see in Astana.
Yeah.
And I still love the logo. I just love the logo. 9Z next. Also a very exciting team, especially considering like the fact that some of the players from Argentina, I think it was Lutrov, we saw many of highlights from him. Hueso Pete we've spoken about quite a while in general.
Yeah,
Mayern as well. Yeah, bro. There's a DGT we knew from Pain Days, didn't live up to expectations there. Max has been leading the charge for this team for a long, long time. 9Z right now. Where exactly is I think 9Z is an Argentinian organization. Yeah, it's an Argentinian organization, and that's where we're going to have a major next year as well. So it's really good they're on a rise again. First place in some of the South American events, second place in another one. Like they are competing very well against the good South American. Yeah, Bit's new coach as well. When did he join? He joined
10 months ago.
Huh?
10 months.
10 months ago, bro. I read it as 2026. That's what I read. Wait a second, where was Bit before though? Bit was at MIBR before, right?
At one point, yeah.
Yeah, that was last time was MIBR. How does that work with languages as well? They're always doing this.
I have no clue.
Portuguese versus the Spanish of Argentinian.
Usually Portuguese speakers understand the Spanish.
We keep saying this, but this didn't work on Pain. They didn't understand each other. It didn't happen before. But no, 9Z, would you put that as for me, it's a hit or miss team because they have a good ranking in VRS because obviously what they're doing in South America. It's an exciting team to watch, but I wouldn't put them in the same standard as Monty is saying like they could make playoffs.
I mean, they obviously beat Mouz earlier in the year.
Yep.
Which was the devastating loss for Mouz. They kind of broke up that team with that loss to some extent.
Yeah.
So they definitely have some swing to them. And they're incredibly consistent in South American region.
Mm-hmm.
They have an 82-83% win rate in the last 3 months.
That's nuts.
So I think they are looking at this as a step they're ready for.
Mm-hmm.
And could definitely upset a team or two.
Would you put Monty or 9Z as having more of a chance of going playoffs?
I think Monty personally.
Yeah.
But that's kind of biased because I know a little bit more about and I've watched more games of Monty than 9C.
Of course.
I don't know if that's like a accurate description of it. I think it's just me being European, if I'm honest.
True. All right, next we're getting into now the big teams. This is where we're getting into the heavy hitters. G2, the lowest of the ranked teams out of the heavy hitters in there. 12th on the VRS, 12th on HLTV right now. They obviously didn't have the best rivals with that loss to FaZe, but they've also had kind of a lackluster year outside of the Star Ladder ranked first place, which was mainly a tier 2 event, tier 2, tier 3. So this is a point where they must get playoffs and they must start to look better. And I want to see if Sunpias keeps that form up. I'm all eyes on Sunpias, man, because he's the difference maker right now.
I mean, G2 for me, they should be making playoff. They have been a little bit strugglesome against lower tier teams. They lose a map. They played, look at Stake. They lost the Batboom maps twice. Made it really, really close. Even Roman, they struggled against Batboom again. Lost to them. So I'm a little bit. It's more for me about G2. Can they find a consistency against team they should really beat?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna delve too much into G2 or my voice is gonna crack.
All right, well, next we got a big one. Mouz with JL and Zelex. Zelex coming from the academy scene, 17 years old. We've seen him once before at a big event. It was Krakow he stood in, or Katowice back then.
This is the first one for them, right?
Yeah. No, what do you mean first one? First of the events with this Mouz?
Yeah, for this Mouz, yeah.
Yes. Zerstrom will be IGL. Torzi and Spink staying in their usual positions. JL is supposed to be more of that passion bringer, hype bringer, aura bringer, the confidence in his gameplay. And the thing is, what I'm looking at here is that JL sees this as his audition to join Mouz. So this will be do as well as possible, get to play really well up until the major, and then Mouz sign you after Cologne. That is everything is nice. And do you know what? That's when I think when he's got that feeling ahead of him, that's when he's going to deliver his best. Because otherwise he's only looking at maybe like a Liquid he goes to, or like the Mouz is a great team for him to be able to get his foot into.
It's the best team he could, I think, hope for.
But bro, they're so far down on the BRS right now. They're 11th. It's crazy how hard they've been hit by that. They're 11th in HLTV and World. This was a team that was consistent top 3, top 4.
Yep.
Oof. So yeah, like for me, Mouz in Astana, I'm going to temper my expectations because they do have a rookie, and they do have JL now, and there's a lot changing in that, and Zerstrom's first event leading, but I'm still going to put them as like playoffs is the minimum. I don't mind if they get eliminated in the quarters, but it must be at least getting to the quarters.
I think when you're a big team like that, you can't really settle for anything else but playoffs. I don't think we can give them excuses. They still have the core, they have the coach, they have the system. We need to see results, and especially, I mean, if you're playing probably one game against the likes of Hans, Magic, K27, one game against Gentlemates, Heroic, Monty, 9C, you should be winning those, even in this new form Mouz.
Yep. Definitely. Parivision. By the way, Parivision have had a big break of events. They were last seen at Bucharest, which it'll be a month since they last played. So they finally had time to reset, rest, and chill. And I'm just going to remember, during Bucharest, that's Dan saying, if it wasn't the major coming up and I could make changes, I'd be kicking some players right now before the major. You know, like he was already in that mindset. So I can imagine this Parivision is going to come in hella strong because everyone knows they're being looked at. Everyone's expected to perform better. This slow drop-off in performances and mistakes they were making from not making out of stage 1 of EPL to top 4 at Rotterdam and then 5th to 8th at Bucharest, which didn't have great teams. Like, they lost to Foot, 3D Max, and Mongols. They should have beaten 3D Max. Foot can be a tough team for sure. Mongols is one they should have been maybe having a better chance against, but you can still give them the fact that they get a loss against
these
them.
guys in practice. I'll just say that.
You've watched them? You played them?
Yeah.
Oh, how was it looking?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Bro, come on, you can't be in this role now and not leak something for the podcast. Imagine all the things I get, the juice I get. Give me something.
Nobody won the game.
Oh, you just tied. You tied in the practice game.
Yeah.
But they tied against an Algo with standing in players and trialing things out. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
That's not a great sign for them coming into it. Yeah. Well, I'm reading a lot into this. I'm going to hit them with, I'm here. I heard your practices have been going. That's the first interview. Parivision, though, should be a must get to playoffs.
I think 100%
potential deep run.
Playoff. I think 100%. I like Parivision. I also think they're really, really good in these close games.
Mm-hmm.
They have this speciality, you know, like I don't think it matters who they play. They rarely dominate people and just swipe them all out. They
That's
kind of
not that
grind their way and figure out things during the game. So I expect them to be more disciplined, more ready. And yeah, maybe I hadn't had a great time going back into Dustin's house and getting whipped every day in their spare time.
Well, I've got the worst thought in my head right now. I'm so glad no one can see
Really?
what's in my mind. This is disgusting. Why did you have to use that exact terminology? Mongols, next. 3rd place last time at PGL Bucharest. Now back at PGL Astana. They would have been able to go back to Mongolia, reset, refresh. They love to do that, come back into an event. I hope this isn't another event where I sit down on day 1 with either Mazzinho, Techno, or Cobra, and they tell me, we haven't practiced. We've arrived here in Astana, and now we're practicing, because that will make me very sad. If they have practiced, and if they have come a little bit earlier to Europe and to get some games going, do you know if they're practicing at all, Devilwalk? Are they practicing? Okay, you didn't see these ones, sadly, so you're not helping the situation here. So with Mongols, they should be making playoffs. I do think, in a way, if they come back really strong, they're a team who could be making top 3 again, maybe a grand final. You know, 3rd place decider, maybe a grand final.
They're kind of in a weirdly blessed position where a lot of these teams on the top end are making changes or struggling or, you know, out of form or have something to prove. They've kind of just been a little bit stable-ish in there while the rest are self-imploding to some sense.
Going through massive changes.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a very, very good tournament from the Mongols here.
Yeah. So I got that feeling. For Falcons.
They don't make playoff this tournament. I don't know what to say, man.
Bro, I'm going to glaze the hell out of Falcons right now. Manasi's just had his birthday. He's now 21 years old. This guy is...
It's over.
This guy has got Karrigan in his IGL. This guy is going to be coming through and changing things up on this team. People can hate Falcons all they want, but you can't hate Karrigan. Unless you're a diehard FaZe fan, you can't hate Karrigan. Karrigan and Nico back together after 7 years. Is it 7 years? I don't think it's like 9 years since Karrigan and Sonic back together.
I'm nervous.
You're I'm on the opposite.
Nervous.
I'm the opposite.
I feel like it's you are making a case
I am
that
the
just
opposite.
feels too good to be true, man.
Yeah, it's okay. So 7 years since Nico and Karrigan together, yeah, and 9 years since Zonic and Karrigan together. I'm imagining Karrigan comes into that team. Nico's like, I was wrong. I'm doing fan fiction here right now. I was wrong. I should have never have kicked you. I would have won the major already if I stuck with you. And Karrigan's like, yes, now you will listen. Bow down to me and tell your young disciples, Kioski and Munisi, bow down to me as well, and we will lift the major. Tess is just agreeing with all of this because he's Danish
like,
anyway. No.
Star Wars and the Emperor and shit like.
Hey, Karrigan is motherfucking Batman. So, Kioski and Munisi are just doing.
Darth Nico is coming.
So Kioski and Munisi are just agreeing. It's Karrigan. You're like, okay, whatever. I'm doing what Nico says, no problem. Tess is just like, my Danish hero, thank you so much for coming to me finally and being my leader. And Zonic, he says, okay, we didn't see eye to eye before, but this time you can have everything. And all that money rains down from the sky. There you go. That's it. that's all I've got.
I feel like this is some kind of like dad energy illusion.
Bro, I'm so believing in this team. I
believe in them.
No, but I was never a Falcons fan. I was a Munisi fan. Now I'm a Falcons fan. You got Karrigan.
I'm worried, man.
No.
I'm just looking at your expectations, right? And you're probably even trying to push them back a little bit.
I don't think I was trying to push it back then.
No, but I feel like everyone's going to think this way. If they don't fucking show up perfect, people are going to flame the shit out of them. And people are going to be like, oh, Karrigan. Okay,
let's look at it this way. Let's be honest, yeah? They were always doing really well in group stages. They didn't have a problem.
100%.
So they were only struggling in playoffs. Karrigan loves pressure anyway. There's more pressure now than ever. The fact he's going to have a Falcons jersey on and he's got all these great players to work with. And I'll tell you this, he's going to sacrifice so much. The pressure is going to be the fact that everyone's expecting him to lift the trophy again straight away 100%. At 36 years old. And also the fact he's got Munisi, Kioski, Nico, bro, Nico's going to be the perfect second caller for him. This is going to be magic. Nico's matured and aged. Karrigan is the veteran. By the way, we all know this is Karrigan's last chance, like very last chance. And if he could be the one that delivers Nico that major. Oh, I'm jumping way far ahead. There's still got to be vitality. I know that. But let's start with an Astana trophy or at least a CAC trophy.
Expectation. They could make it 3-0 out of playoff or 2 playoff. And then we'll see. That's
I'll say this.
Interesting stuff happens.
If they meet Spirit in the quarters, then Spirit could beat him. I'll give you that. But there's not a single other team in here I see Falcons losing to. Putting out there right now.
I mean, it's interesting because you put overall winner for this event.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. We'll get there. But that's enough Falcons glazing. You're worried. I'm not. Karrigan is back. Batman in the building.
Worried that.
Can he be Batman if he's a Falcon now? Does that make sense? You have a Batman mask with Falcon wings.
You're dreaming away, man.
Bro, it's 2:26 in the morning.
Anymore. It's just fucking Banks dreaming.
Hey, I get to do the stage announcements, man. I'm just imagining this wondrous things.
This guy has probably been sleeping at like 10 every day, waking up 4 in the morning, and now he's up to 4 in the morning.
Yeah, by the way, I'm going to go to bed. My son's going to wake up. I'm going to need to change his nappy, and then I'm going to have to help feed him, and then I'm going to go sleep again. Today's going to be a hell of a tough day. I'm already delusional. Cooked. Yeah, I'm so cooked.
Let's push through this, and maybe
we're nearly there.
An hour.
We're nearly there. So Aurora is an interesting one because there was rumors about all these changes, but I don't know. I heard nothing about how true these changes could be. I heard other podcasts talking about it, like Woxit going to another team and stuff, and Aurora thinking to go international. As far as I know it, Aurora's staying Turkish. That's as much as information as I have. And I know some people there. So they had second place at EPL, third to fourth at Rotterdam. The Draculan one was the one we already criticised, like that wasn't acceptable. And then 7th to 8th, losing to Navi again in Rio, all right? And that was then stopping them from going to playoffs. So that wasn't even a playoff game they lost. This is still a team, though, who is deadly. This is still a team that holds their rank pretty well, is a top 10 team, is a competitive team. And I'm still praising Soulfly, even if everyone else wants to say like he's really bad in his numbers. No, like he's doing exactly what Major wants. They finally got the piece they needed. Then the only thing is how well Zontaras' hands can hold up, you know?
Yeah. I like them. I think they made progress this season. It's a good tournament for them to actually go for a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you see Spirit going back to their old ways of only Donk and nothing else, Aurora is a stronger team.
Mm-hmm.
If Falcons don't really match up to their expectations, start choking in playoff, Aurora has their chance there. Furia,
yeah.
I don't know, they've been in poor form as well. So Aurora might be, weirdly enough, the most stable team out of the top 4 in a weird way.
Kinda, yeah. Which is crazy, but they still have this problem when it goes into playoffs. Like not as like
much.
No, not as much as in quarterfinal exit, but I mean, if they're gonna get pushed, like I feel like if they ran into the Falcons, the Spirits, or Parivision on a good day, they're gonna struggle. And that's guaranteed to be one of your semis.
Struggle in that scenario. It's not only Aurora here.
No, but I mean, for a team of that standard, they don't put up a fight enough for me.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like one where you go, oh, Aurora versus Spirit. Like, that's going to be a close, like, back and forth. No, it's going to be Aurora getting dominated.
It's going to be interesting.
Let's see. Let's see. That does bring us nicely onto our next team, though. It is Spirit. So Spirit coming off the back of a second place at Rio. They have had all this time off since Rio. They go into Astana, where if they get to the arena, which is probably most likely, it's going to be a crowd that will be probably on their side, at least
Do you know
a
if
good portion of it.
Or Halle is going for this?
I thought this is Softic. I thought it was the next 2 events for Softic, right? So that would be... Wait, when did Softic come in? Oh, I got to remember these things.
It says Softic if you hover over Spirit for this event.
There you go. Then it's him. Yeah, fine. Good. You answered your own question. So we liked him. In Rio, he was doing work. Yeah? This was positive. They had their best performance so far of the year. It's been the best performance, best final, long time run. Okay, they still got beaten by Vitality, but I'm happy with what they were cooking with.
I liked what they did. I loved what they did, actually. I loved how they enabled Tenir again.
Mm-hmm.
He had some pop-off game. It looked like they had a little bit more freedom. They had more clear ideas of when to take that freedom, it felt like. And that's probably something they talked with Softic about, that he either, discussed in the team. It could have been Halle from the start, that they've changed their ways in some bits. But I like that they've gone away from this very, inflexible way of playing to letting players show what they're capable of on the server. The only problem I've had is Sontix. I haven't felt him being as reliable as I've seen in the past.
Not as in the past. Yeah.
I'd like to see a little bit more from him, and then I actually think that this roster can lift trophies.
Yeah. He's not come back to the really Mr. Reliable Zontic when you evolved.
Yeah, you
That's
see
the thing.
moments, but it's not as consistent.
Yeah, I'd agree. And then finally, last but not least, but they are the highest ranked team on here, not by VRS, but by the HLTV rankings. It is Furia. We already spoke so much about Furia in this episode. It's not looking good for them. This is not just playoffs must be a must, but this is Molodoy's home. Remember, this is where we saw Molodoy when this young boy stood on the stage with me, taking my microphone, talking away to his people, his crowd, his country. This event means so much for him, similar to like what Rio meant for Fallen, Yuri, and Keserato. So I know he's had his struggles. I know the team is having his struggles, but I'm like, this is a format that is good for them. Yeah. This is a format that should work really well.
But I'm still worried about Furia's form. I'm not convinced they'll just bounce back just like that.
Title contender, probably not. Playoffs, surely
they'll
with
make
this.
playoff,
Yeah.
Playoff they'll make, but I don't see the current Furia beating like Spirit, Falcons, Mongols.
See, you said Falcons.
Yeah. I just still don't see it.
See, Falcons.
That's not because Falcons. We haven't seen shit about Falcons.
Karrigan. We don't need to. Just
we haven't seen
Karrigan.
anything.
Just Karrigan. That's all you need to know.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm reserved.
You could be reserved. That's fine. All right. So we don't have the matchups because PGL released these later on. Now, overall winner, I'll let you start, Devilwalk. You go first. Who do you think is going to win this whole tournament in Astana? Do you think that Spirit can do it back to back with no chopper?
I think Spirit has a great opportunity to win this event.
Mm-hmm.
I think they found some kind of success in the last events. I loved watching them play. Loved seeing the unleashed players in Spirit. I think if that continues to happen, I think this is their tournament. I think the other teams, yes, they might have higher potential in a longer time, like space, like Falcons. I think if they get up and running, it's going to take them a few weeks in my book.
Mm-hmm.
I might be wrong on that, but that's why I see Spirit being the winners of this event.
Be interested to see if they can go back to back without Chopper there. But if Chopper, I don't know if he is, but if Chopper's streaming in the arena, that'd be even hilarious as well. He's still there to see what happens, watch what's going on. So I picked Falcons by no surprise. I think Falcons hit the ground running. Karrigan comes out, Batman mask on, some mechanical wings go out the back of him, and he arrives. I don't know if they can make him fly out from the ceiling or something. That'd be cool. Big enough arena. Big enough arena. It could be possible. But either way, finally another trophy for Falcons. He does it on the first go. I will say, I am megally coping here. I just believe in Karrigan. This isn't some hardcore analysis, but I do honestly, with my heart, predict that Falcons will either win PGL Astana or CAC. CAC is an even lower down set of teams and players. So one of these two, Astana or CAC, because CAC, by the way, it's Falcons, Mongols, Parivision, Mouz, 3D Max, Legacy, Bait, type. Like Falcons should definitely win that with a Karrigan. But we're going to learn a lot. We're going to see a lot from all of this.
All I'm going to say is that every single event they've gone to, they've been slightly predicted as winners of an event. Even some events where Vitality's been there, people have talked to me about Falcons winning the event. And it's 100% every single time. And last time I checked, the last trophy they had, honestly wasn't even on the roster. They won PGL Bucharest with Dexter.
Yep.
I cannot, for the life of me, just say that Falcons going to win this event with that in the back.
Karrigan. Difference maker. That's it. That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
I believe. But that is the end of the episode. We finally got there. 3 hours or something in. Some umming and ahhing, some craziness from all of us as always.
Q&A question.
We didn't ask these questions we asked for these questions at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from Pebble. What a lovely name. Hello, Pebble. I hope you're doing well, as you are our only question sender in. We've actually screwed Skorga here, and his record is broken because we didn't ask early enough. He'll be sleeping by the time we asked. Do you prefer IGLs who play the worst roles, such as Bianca, or those who play the harder positions like Yard or Nuke? I think it depends on your calling style, because if you're an IGL who needs to be in like the active line of it all and hear everything and see everything to make your decisions, then you need to play in the more active roles. But then some, like a Karrigan, who loves to play the anchor and then rely on the information he gets from teammates. But sometimes, if your communication is not good, it can throw things off. If I prefer one more than the other, I'd probably say like I want to see stars in those active positions, in those kind of roles. So I would say the IGL who likes to play the worst roles, the anchor positions, is probably preferable for me. EW?
I mean, I don't think IGLs should play anchor roles at all. I think that's really, really bad. I think that's when you utilize an IGL in probably the worst way you can. You isolate them on the map. I think an IGL has more impact on the game than being isolated in that space. Now, there are, certain rotation roles and certain positions on the map, especially on CT sides, where you need someone who has great mechanical ability to play them. But hopefully you can pair, like a short and con with one IGL and one really hard hitting, and you kind of support the hard hitting person a little bit more from those positions. But it is like Banks is saying, like it depends a lot on, okay, if you have someone playing Yard Nuke and he's really good at shooting and he gets 1-2 kills every round, but he's really bad at conveying information, he'll probably lose more rounds, even if he gets the kills on the board, just because he's bad at conveying information. If you have someone who's good at conveying information, you can sometimes win on a map like Nuke that is CT favored. If you have your rotation system in place, you'll be able to trap them and give opportunities to more players to get kills. It might not be just visible as we look at it just contextually yard.
Yeah.
We have to look at how fast can they rotate. Do they get the opportunity to even block them before they can choose short or long stairs in lower? Or is it that they can already be down and you can't rotate vent and you need to take lobby and go ramp? This can fuck up a lot of things if you're not fast enough with conveying the information of when the fastest timing is when they can be down yard. So a lot depends on how fast and accurate the information is conveyed. If a star player can do that, great. Then put the star player there. But
Nico.
if you can't, I'd rather have a zero fragging yard player who conveys the information correctly, because you don't really need it that much on Nuke. You can play it in different ways.
There you go. Beautifully said. Devilwalk knowledge bomb dropped like Falcons is going to do in the stuff.
I mean,
Wait, watch
impossible.
this.
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no.
Watch this be completely wrong, though. Watch this go completely. Like, it'll be me this bites in the ass 100%. But I am excited to see it. I think everyone's excited to see Karrigan back, especially after how FaZe performs, So it's gonna make some beautiful Counter-Strike over the next few days. Let us know what you are preferring to watch and stay up for. Are you guys focused more on watching Atlanta or Astana right now? Both beginning with A's, PGL, Astana. I will be there, so there you go. That gives you more reason. And there's IEM Atlanta. No, yeah, IEM Atlanta. I guess it's an IEM. Are they all IEMs now, or is it just ESL? Yeah, it's an IEM Atlanta, so there's that one as well. Let us know what you'll be watching. Devilwalk, you are going to be on Atlanta duties because I'll need to work Astana and the time difference I cannot do.
We'll see. If I can't be up, I will be rewatching the games.
Good. I'm going to need you to, because I'm going to see probably nothing. Because I'm already looking at the times, yeah? Like, some of the games end midnight, but it starts at an okay time for you. Like, what's the time in Astana now? Time in Astana now. It is 6:43, so they are 4 hours ahead of me right now. So it's going to get crazy late. But either way, we're done for another episode. Any closing thoughts, my friend?
I mean, like, subscribe. It helps us a lot. Comment. We'll make sure to answer your comments on YouTube. And I think we should be starting to answer comments on like Spotify and stuff like that. But we haven't really gotten into that technique yet. Spotify is harder. Definitely harder. Yeah. It's harder. Not as easy. Leave them on YouTube if I'm completely honest. But
if you can. But yeah, another episode dropped. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. We will do the next episode at the end of both Astana. I will try from Astana to do it again, but I'm not going to promise anything, considering I'm traveling with wife and baby to Astana and back, which means we might drop the next episode like on the 18th when I land back in Portugal. And then we have to cover the fallout of that into CAC. So we'll see how it'll be either way. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like Devilwalk said, like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe is the important one. We got so many more subscribers in the last episode, so some of you enjoying it. If you are enjoying it, do continue to support in any way you can. And we'll see you on the next episode on either the 18th or 19th of May. Peace.